Okay, lower that music. Alrighty. So, yeah, what's up, everybody? This is Sports Goofs number 144. I'm Francisco. So, what's up? I'm joined by, well, just one of my good buddies here. Just Charles here for now. Andrew may or may not show up. So, what's up, Charles? How you doing?
It is too hot in Florida.
Yeah.
It is too hot in Florida to be a professional as you're coming out of court. And this was just like 90-degree weather this morning. And you're just wearing a suit jacket, trying to talk to clients and sweating every orifice of your body. You always think about pores on your skin. I felt them open like the heavens, and it was gross and nasty. So this will make you laugh a little bit about me. I always carry like a bandana in my pocket. And people are like, "Oh, blood crypt." I'm like, "No, I sweat easily." So I have to go kind of Southern charm to kind of dab my big ass forehead,
a little pocket square.
Oh yeah, with the big ass forehead.
I do declare.
I do. Now listen here, sir. Maybe we'll do like part of the show.
I'm just a simple country lawyer.
Yeah, I may be a man chicken or whatever it was in Futurama.
Yeah. Oh man, so yeah, we're here, and Andrew will join us. Maybe got random NBA game going on in the background, which is ironic because I could care less about the NBA Finals right now.
Right.
Like that. I was out on Saturday night with the lady, and we went to like a food hall or something, a brand new one that opened up around here, and it was just. They had the big giant projectors with the game going on, people standing around looking at it, and I was just like, that's why I texted you like, whatever about the Celtics, and then the Warriors came back, and I'm like, okay, well, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. That's kind of been my feeling since the Heat got eliminated. None of it matters, and I feel kind of bad because a little bit. This is a sports show, everybody, but not really anymore. And I just felt like I would be more into it, but I guess the way the Heat lost really took me out of it.
Yeah, I don't think you have an excuse because here's the thing: it's not a two-sided affair where I'm interested in both parties. I want Golden State to win. I think in the beginning of the season, we listed them out as possible contenders. We didn't buy into the Phoenix Sun hype. I would never buy into the Phoenix Suns hype. And you know how I felt about Denver. So Golden State fully healthy, but I don't care for Boston. I respect what Ime Udoka's done. I will say this: Jason Tatum is officially a superstar. I think Jaylen Brown's just lucky right now because he kind of falls off sometimes because he wasn't doing good in some of the other series. But it's not a cast of...
Jaylen Brown is Kyle Lowry from 2019.
Yeah, and what I feel that the Boston Celtics give me out of this is that they're the team that did it right because of their togetherness, but they're not really a team that I enjoy watching. And unlike other finals, I'm trying to find...
And just going off of that, are they the new San Antonio Spurs?
Well, you have to win one and become a San Antonio Spurs.
I know, but like if they, but if they do, which it'll be pretty hard, but next game's in Boston,
no,
right?
I'm going to give you a more apropos, because here's the thing, and I'm going to get people are going to pelt me when I say this. There's some legitimate superstars on the Celtics.
Yes.
I'm telling you now, Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, my Argentinian, bloodline, he wasn't a superstar. It was just Tim Duncan. This is the New Jersey Nets. I'm just saying, from a couple of years ago when it was Kidd and Vinsanity, because Tatum is a superstar without a doubt.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart is kind of there. He's a superstar in defense, and then he's just kind of like above average in some other ones.
Yeah.
You have competent coaching. And then you have that guy who kind of sometimes like appearance with Jaylen Brown. And then there's just guys who are just no names but do the work. Derek White.
Yeah, good role players.
Yeah, Derek White, Payne Pritchard. So, because they'll become San Antonio if they win. I know some people were saying, Charles, aren't you being finicky? I'm like, no. Because you have to have the right guy, the right coach, the right everything. And the reason why I bring up the Nets from, we're old, 17 years ago, is because they had a window. There wasn't a lot of competition. This was pre-LeBron James getting drafted to Cleveland at 18, where nobody was kind of good and everybody was a field, but they built a consistent team to get them there. I'm trying to remember who their coach was because I think you would think
Which
right
one? Which
for the Nets the back-to-back years.
Oh
Byron, it
God,
was Byron Scott. Oh
Byron
man,
Scott.
I don't want to
Wow,
say even
holy
Udoka
crap!
is
I didn't
a
even
Byron
know.
Scott, but it feels
I,
like
you
it
know,
is.
when Byron Scott was, because he was in New Orleans and a bunch of other stops and everything like
Yeah,
that. It never felt like, oh, this is used to be a guy who coached a team to an NBA Finals,
yeah, and then
back
he
to
just
back even.
well, let's take this as a little like
But then
we're gonna
again,
be
you could say like
competitive.
Stan Van Gundy is the same thing, right? It's like, how did this
Yeah,
guy make it to the finals?
but
You
we,
know?
we like Sam. So this is
Yeah.
who was on this 2002-2003 roster where they lost to Spurs 2-4 because I feel this is too appropriate
Mm.
now and I want to deep dive into it.
Yeah, let's go.
So you
This is a sports
had
show. We might as well talk about it a little bit
you
before we get to the
had
stupidness.
the highlight names I remember. You had Richard Jefferson, Jason Kidd,
Yeah.
Kerry Kittles, Kenyon Martin, Dikembe
Yeah,
on the
Kenya Martin. Yeah.
Dikembe on the backside of his career.
Yeah.
The White Mamba, Brian.
Yeah, that was like
Scalabrine.
when Mutombo was just like somebody you just picked up, and he was on that 2001 Sixers team, and.
Chris Childs was there, but not like he did much in between. So
Mhm.
with those names I gave you, it feels appropriate to my comparison, even in that season stats.
Mm.
Jason Kidd, had 18 points for that season, points per game. Richard Jefferson with his 15. And Richard Jefferson's always kind of been like he's a C, but he's a C plus. If you had to talk about grades, that's always how I
Yeah.
view Richard Jefferson. People only remember Richard Jefferson now because of ESPN and getting that ring.
Yeah.
Did he ever get the ring in Cleveland? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
in that
did.
final year.
Yep.
And then Kenyon Martin at 16 and Kerry Kittles. Those are dudes I fully remember. And then I remember Dikembe. Jason Collins, remember, was just kind of like that role guy. And then Brian Scalabrine is just more known for the memes than
Yeah.
anything else. And then Chris Childs kind of
Hold on.
fell off because he was older.
I'm gonna look this up while you're talking about it. I'm gonna stat muse real quick. Yeah, hold on. 2002, right? 2002.
Yeah, 2002, 2003 Nets.
Yeah, 2002 Nets. Let's see if we'll pop up here. So yeah, look at all these guys. This is okay. So this is the 2002 ones were the ones that lost to the Lakers. In
No,
that
I'm thinking
season.
I'm thinking 2003.
Oh, 2003. They're the ones that lost to the Spurs.
Yeah, because that was your apropos. Not mind you, not a lot of things changed. So I'm looking at the year prior.
Yeah.
From those guys that you talked about, but the only thing that changed
roster,
was like Brandon, a little bit of the roster.
Brandon
but a lot of the same
Armstrong.
guys.
Yeah. Look at this. Look at all these guys. Jason Kidd, Anthony Johnson. Let's see. Dikembe, Scalabrine, Aaron Williams. Yeah, there's a bunch of look at these guys. Wow. In 2002, they
They got Vince Carter
won.
the next year. And
Yeah,
then they
dear Lord, 49 victories. That got you first in the Atlantic. Man, the East was just awful.
It was bad.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I feel like this season there was a big drop off between 1 to 3. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the Heat were a hoax. It's just this is one of those we have to strike when the iron is hot.
Yeah, both
But
teams were
it's
kind of
really-
the same, 2002 and 2003, but regardless, yeah.
But I would just say it was like how Milwaukee. Boston wasn't even on people's radar. Remember, they're like, "Oh, this is a horrible thing." But people, I think, knew Miami was going to be competitive. Milwaukee, I didn't expect Philly to kind of die out, but obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But that's my comparison. Win the title, different story.
Mhm.
I feel, but that's just my comparison, and that's actually when I really started getting into basketball a little bit heavier because 90s, full disclosure, 1989. Don't question any person who talks about stuff about stats and players when they were still in Pampers. So you avoid those guys who are 2, 3, or 4 talking about their favorite players. 1996, man, I was just wearing Charlotte Hornets clothing because that was the cool shit back then.
Yeah.
We didn't know Bugsy. We had to go be retroactive. I believe you analyze what you grew up in and you may pay homage to the past because that's there. But that's really when the brain was kind of rolling where basketball was interesting as opposed to dudes who could dunk. And I couldn't dunk because I was like 5'2" when I was that age.
Mhm.
But that's who they come up to it because if you look the last couple of years for the Eastern Conference, bring it all back together, was that a lot of them were star role players, not counting Toronto because that was such a uneven finals because of all the injuries. And there were some star players, but last several years, Cleveland always there, big name guys, things of that nature. The Celtics when they were the big three there, Miami was the big three. So they're to this Boston Celtics team, they're just kind of like that. Hey, everybody, the parity's kind of shown up. You have like one legitimate superstar player, questions about Jason Tatum. Not Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I'll give Marcus Smart some things. Al Horford, you know what you're getting. He lit us up. We're not going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But the guys who lit us up in the second series in the Eastern Conference Finals hasn't done anything. Al Horford hasn't really done anything. Derek White kind of disappeared. We couldn't stop Derek White. That's what annoyed me the most. You had a guy who was a legitimate bench warmer in San Antonio, gets traded to the Celtics, and he's just making shots. That's the thing I take away with so much rage out of the finals, aside from Kyle Lowry being ineffective. And I understand that Tyler tore that groin doing some shady stuff on the side. We love you, Tyler, so it's okay. You're young, live your life, kid. But damn it, man. That's where I bring that heat. That's a little bit my bias. But the Boston Celtics are not, for me, watchable basketball. And mind you, I like physicality. I do. That's why I actually thoroughly enjoyed the Miami Heat and Boston Celtics series, despite the fact that there was some refs not making the calls that they needed to make. Because explain to me not one but two games where there was that big free throw disparity in our series, but we're not going to comment on it because we just seem like sore losers, and we are sore and we are losers, so I get that. But I aside from what Tatum's doing, it's like, it's Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum also is like, I swear to Christ, it's the Devin Booker effect. Yeah. Shut up about Kobe. We're over Kobe. Yeah. It feels like the Office meme was like, shut up about his son.
I mean, look, I've been harping on this show for ever since I would say, after 2020 and all that stuff, whatever, and then it just got they're really beating the dead. Beating the dead point. Kobe beef. You know what I mean?
Well, we're at the point, and Andrew's not here, so we can become a little bit more raw here. If you keep mentioning him, you get one more finals, and this is it. If you mention him last year. Oh, Kobe was my favorite player. Oh, so your favorite player is a rapist? That's going to be my answer every single time. Because that's how over it I am.
Yeah.
And functionally speaking, you know what? This is going to be an NBA beginning. Functionally speaking and technically speaking, one would make the image that these young cats really shouldn't be licking the balls of Kobe Bryant. May he rest in peace. Your guy, because you got to look at the age differential, and this is terrible to say because it's going to piss off a whole lot of fan bases. Your hero shouldn't be Kobe Bryant.
I know where we're going.
Your hero should be LeBron James.
Yep.
Your hero should be LeBron James because LeBron came into this league 2004, 18 years ago. Devin Booker is 25, so 18 years ago, Devin Booker would have been 6 or 7. And then Tatum around the same group. So you're talking about the man who drafted out of high school, built the brand around him, went to a finals just purely his own. If there was one less superstar, that's who the Celtics remind me of. Created the big free agency craziness, not for Boston doing it, 9, 10, 11, 12 years ago, because those were some trades. We're talking about dudes taking less money. Multiple straight finals, multiple MVPs, 10 finals appearances, a billionaire, one in 3 different locations. Kobe ain't never left LA, even though he wanted to. And he won with any coach, won with any player, even in LA, in the bubble. And even when they're ass and not making the playoffs, it really isn't on him.
Yeah, he averaged 30 points per game this season. I got his stats up here, man.
Oh, thank you.
In 2022,
we're going hard on this apparently because
I didn't. This is a twist. I didn't expect us to be praising LeBron James right now.
I'll praise LeBron any day of the week. I'm like one of those people.
I'm not as I can.
Give or take.
I can give or take. There's some things where I'm just like, come on, man.
He whined.
It's very, and I get it. He's earned it, but you can tell there's the narcissism and all that stuff like that. But I will always appreciate, especially 2013. So I'll always appreciate the time he had here. He's gonna get his number retired here in Miami. We all know this and all that stuff. And so it's if Shaq got his number retired, LeBron's getting his number retired. So. I didn't expect this, man. This is what happens.
But to conclude it, don't tell me. And here's the thing: LeBron ain't got no rape charge on him. So, and a couple gold medals. So you can't, because here's the thing: we're talking about almost 20 years. And why is it wrong to say that your hero is a guy that's still in the league? it's because of the fact that he's still in the league.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody because what I've liked about the new school generation of basketball players, and we're getting it in football, we're not getting it at baseball anytime soon, I feel, is that that phrase real recognizes real.
Yeah.
You get actual appreciation of current and new players coming in. They're swapping jerseys, they're getting signatures, they're allowing themselves to be starstruck. I'm gonna tell you right now, for LeBron, we're just gonna I got two hands, I'm gonna cradle each testicle for him. You're not talking about a guy who was this is gonna be incendiary. The closest thing to Magic Johnson that we've had in 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
As a player in a position and everything, man, whose stats were more than just shooting, who all these things came around, who there was no question about who was the MVP when he won his championships, because there's huge debate on a few other ones. And the big difference is the idea is basketball's supposed to be simple in the game, right? You're not stuck in a system. Go for there. Because here's the other thing, too. Kobe only won with Phil. Kobe couldn't get it with all those other guys. You know, I think Byron Scott was there as well as coach. Mike Brown was there as coach. D'Antoni. And these are actually renowned coaches. We just gave hype to Byron Scott. It's just NBA had such a stranglehold on success when a coach where you can't even be an acknowledged great coach unless you have 2 rings in my eyes. That's why Doc Rivers isn't there. But we're talking about who this man ended up winning rings with. Eric Spoelstra.
Eric Spoelstra, who was at the beginning, but now Spoelstra has built the career, and the other one was Tyronn Lue.
He wins it with Tyronn Lue, and he probably could have won it with David Blatt, but there was just the politics of firing between.
Yeah. And he got to the finals with Mike Brown as his coach in 2007.
And he also won it with Frank Vogel. And Frank Vogel for us is just the safe bet. Yeah. You know, Frank Vogel is like, man, I ain't got a date for the prom, so I'm gonna ask the neighbors, kind of thing.
He's serviceable. He's a serviceable head coach.
And now they have Harmon or Harvin. I can't say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Dan Harvin or whatever his name is. And I think it's a fine fit. It was going to be dry. Do I think that Vogel was, on the chopping block regardless? Absolutely. But there's always a mere possibility that could happen again next year, because just as how injuries betrayed the success of the Golden State Warriors last 3 years, it's fair to say that Anthony Davis, you can't put everything on Russ. And people like to, because Russ, for whatever reason, is just not likable people. And that's the thing I hate about basketball. My God, do we love you until you go to the team that we don't want you to go to.
Yeah.
Football, it's different.
Basketball is more personal because there's so few guys in the league and so few guys on each team, and one guy can literally just change the entire thing. So
so that's to bring it back to all these young cats. I don't want to hear these new wave of 18 and 19-year-olds coming in saying that Kobe's their favorite guy now, right? Because it's starting to get further and further. When did he retire? 2015? 2016? 2017? 2018? I mean, now I'm Googling this because I feel like there's an argument I can't let go of. And
hold on, I'm going to look up his stats. All right, so Kobe Bryant, let's go. So Kobe Bryant, let's see, from 1996 through 2016. Yep, there we go.
Yeah, he retired 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Kids, understanding this, if we're just going 18 years from now, and let's say sport-wise, let's make it 9 years old, right? 9 years old. So let's go back.
I think, you're most impressionable, and this is a whatever sports question. I think you're most impressionable as to what your favorite players or favorite teams are or going to be in the future, around 10, 11 years old, I would say. Because that's when I started liking baseball, and all that stuff. Okay, and then I latched on to a team, and lo and behold, and here I am. So
you're going to give me 12 years old when you started getting into basketball, and 2012, or 10 years old, so 2012. Here's the thing about 2012. It was the end of the Laker dynasty, the birth of the LeBron dynasty.
Right.
And you had Kobe in the last 4 years. They never went to the playoffs.
That was remember and I talked about this when I was breaking down Dwight Howard the other day. Mm-hmm. Remember it was the back-to-back, right, with him and Powell and all that stuff like that, and then they they try to do their own big three with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash and Kobe. Remember that? And that failed miserably.
It's more known for the Chris Paul trade that was vetoed by David Stern because we just couldn't let the Lakers win it all. And I thought that would have been a great trade. I thought it should have happened. And so it went to the Clippers, and it was all wasted because Doc Rivers was your coach.
Mm-hmm.
But given to that, where if you're talking about you're getting to 2012, aside from the Cali kids and the other states that are around the Lakers, because at that time the Clippers were just trying to get some prominence, the most must-see player in the NBA was LeBron James. Yeah. So I don't want to hear it no more. You get one more year. I'm very kind. You get one more year. But when we're coming to 23, 24, you're going to get Kobe on those ass years. Because here's the thing about those ass years. The guy was injured. And I like boxing. I'm a big fan of it. And sometimes of what I'll do is watch old fights.
Look at his last 3 seasons.
He missed like 2 full seasons.
Yeah, he had 6 games played in 2013-14. Averaged 13 points per game. And then 35 games in 2015. And then they were tanking anyways. It didn't really matter. So it was just 66 games played. And he was averaging 17 points per game at that point.
Yeah, so consider this.
Broken down, broken knees, everything like that. And that's what you got. So
And so I'll watch old boxing because you can see those hits, you can appreciate it. Ain't no one gonna watch old YouTube clips of Kobe doing stuff that the modern day guys are doing. Because that's the one thing I'll say about basketball. There's always a 2.0 version of you. And anybody who wants to say no to that, you're not a student in the game. And it frustrates the hell out of people.
Yeah. Man, basketball. Look at that. We're actually talking about it.
Well, hard on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of where I wanted. Well, I mean, we can. Let me take a look at something real quick. Let's see. You know, what we can do is we can get a little silly, and we can go to the handsomest coaches again. I feel like we can go there right now, and you know,
I think that works if it's basketball because Andrew doesn't watch it.
What happened?
We can do that for basketball because Andrew doesn't watch basketball.
Oh yeah, that's where I was gonna go with. I was gonna do the NHL, but then Andrew's not here. You know, we're already on this basketball train, so we might as well see who makes your loins all saucy, Charles.
In the NBA. It's gonna be very hard for anybody to top Jason Kidd.
Yeah, well, let's start. So we're gonna start. You know, we always do this 2 parts. I kind of have it planned out, so we usually do like 12 episodes. So by the final episode, we'll have an actual finals. So that's where we're kind of at right now. So let's see. Let me just try and reset this. So let's go with the Western Conference.
Yeah, Western Conferences.
We'll do the Western Conference first, and let's see. Oh God, man. I'm just going by alphabetical order, and lo and behold, it's Jason Kidd.
Well, I mean, Jason Kidd's effing handsome, even at like the spry age of 53. I think is what he's at now.
There's current Jason Kidd right now, the head coach
49.
Of the Dallas Mavs. Yeah,
makes ball look good.
There he is when he was young. Oh God, he was in that love triangle with Tony Braxton, right?
Yeah. I'll break my heart.
It's some of his other, I think was it Phoenix teammates or Dallas teammates? It was Dallas. Yeah, it was probably Dallas.
I think that's what caused him to bail.
Yep. And then had his own issues off the court in his past career, but in his past life. But now he's with the Mavs, and there he is. There's your boy.
Helped beat Phoenix, so that gives him an extra point of hands. I'm serious. It's like, all right.
All right, so there's the handsome. All right, so okay.
Say you love me again.
All right, so that's one. We're down with one right there. So next we've got, and you know what? I think we've got a new sponsor. I think we've got Lenovo today, Charles.
Oh, good for you, Lenovo. I almost bought your book office.
Yeah, I think did Andrew buy a Lenovo? He might have. I'm not even sure.
Maybe I was vetting it, and then I decided not to for things.
All right, so Lenovo is sponsoring the handsomest NBA head coaches right now.
There we go. All right,
okay, let's go. Next is Michael Malone, Denver.
Ooh.
Michael
Can I get him?
Malone,
Can I
Denver
get him with?
Nuggets.
Can I get him with hair?
Well, trying to zoom in here, but there he is. It's a bit rough there.
It's a little rough.
That's a close-up image of him right now.
I mean, him with facial hair makes me think of Rich whatever his name, Epson or whatever, the guy who used to be on ESPN but now is on the NFL Network. If he went balding, the guy who always
Rich Eisen,
like
Rich Eisen.
Yeah,
There we go.
Oh, I think Epstein. Those memes.
I was about to say like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, he makes me think of Rich Eisen. If the balding happened,
I mean, there he is with hair. There he is with hair a little bit right there.
I can't do it. No, thank you.
No. All right, so that's a no for you. We're gonna move on here. Next is Steve Kerr.
Yeah, Steve Kerr's kind of handsome. For the aggregate of knowing what's going into basketball, he doesn't age. Looks good.
Also, off the court opinions.
Off the court opinions.
He's good. He's good.
He's a trooper.
Yeah, he's very much a progressive-minded human being.
He wears the suits very well. He got punched in the face by Michael Jordan.
Yep.
He's also won multiple rings. He's accomplished. So that's the standard I'm going to give to NBA a little bit too. Did you win rings as a player or a coach?
Yeah.
Because you are most coaches end up becoming players to some degree. Or I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Most players become a coach to a degree. So there's going to be a little bit more scrutiny.
Yeah.
A little bit more scrutiny.
That's true. All right, next, Steven Silas, Houston.
Oh man, let me see what Stephen Silas looks like. It's one of those things where you know this guy for years, and
he's on the younger side. Huh? How old is he? How old is he? He's 48. He's 48 years old.
Yeah, he's handsome.
Went to Brown, so he's an Ivy League guy. All right, so he's smart.
He's helping Houston with the rebuild. Yeah. I want him. With his slender figure, he should probably get more slim fit suits because I see some bagginess. That's just a little fresh advice to you guys.
Oh well, maybe he's going, old school retro. I mean, he played around that time. He grew up around that time, so.
Listen, you can harp to the old days, but when it comes to fashion, you gotta keep it modern.
Okay. All right. Next, Tyronn Lue.
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, Tyronn's handsome.
All right. Tyronn Lue. There he is. Remember when he had the dreads and the cornrows back then?
Yeah.
And now there he is now. I don't know, Charles. It doesn't do it for me. Personally. Maybe because they had he doesn't have a single good photo up here.
It's got the baby face to him though. I mean, he's not the most attractive.
How old is Tyronn Lue? He's 45. He's 45 years old.
You see, that angle at the press conference, yes, but then some of the other ones is like, no.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a redacted. He can take me out.
Next, Darvin Ham. That's the Lakers head coach.
Yeah, Darvin. I think Garvin, because I think of Ronnie Garvin. Right. Darvin. Let's see a full pic because I watched an interview of him, but I don't think he's.
There is with when he was with the Bucks.
All right, let me.
Is got a little Uncle Phil to him.
Is it terrible to say that he looks like generic creative character coach?
A little bit. Well, I was saying a little more Uncle Phil in a sense. I think that's probably one of the better photos that you've got.
Is he about to go beat somebody's ass in the photo above? Because he gets a point just for that.
No, I think those are his players giving him, or a little bit. I think it's. I have no idea. That's a ref. That's one. That's who's that?
Why Darvin is ready to be. It looked like he's about to go beat some ass. So
I'm not even sure what's going on there.
If he's a bro like that,
there he is in a suit.
Let me see the suit.
So, okay. I
mean, it's kind of like it's the clothing makes the man mentality. Yeah. So with the suits, yeah. The regular shirts.
Yeah, there he is at the press conference with the Lakers.
And look, I'm the same way too.
Wearing the yellow tie.
At home I look like Shrek. Outside on court, we flash and show. So I will give Darvin a clothing credibility. You clean up nicely.
All right. Next, Taylor Jenkins, Memphis.
Oh hell no. I've been bringing it up so I can criticize it, but no.
There we go. There he is.
Especially how he was kind of acting a fool a little bit this postseason.
Looks like Tom Segura.
Yeah, it's Tom Segura and David Harbour had a baby. I've been watching Stranger Things. Seriously. Because, one of my greatest fears, and people in my life, if they listen to the show, are gonna know this.
Mm.
One of my greatest fears is how I'm gonna go bald. Because we all accept how we're going to go. That as men, we're going to go bald at some point of our life. And I have debated it. I get freaked out when I just comb my hair. And you haven't
All
seen
right,
it.
there he is, completely clean shaven and in a suit.
Oh no!
When he was at Penn.
So with Taylor, the way his hair is going,
actually, he looks better with the
gives
beard.
gives me anxiety because it's not just receding to the horseshoe, but it's going like one side to the horseshoe. That's why he shaved and everything like that. So he found his look to deal with aging, but he is not my cup of tea. Don't let me get bald.
All right,
please God, I'll sacrifice children in order to not go like that.
Next, we've got Chris Finch, Minnesota.
Let's take a look at Chris Finch. I can already tell you who I think it's going to come down to in the Eastern Conference, but it's
oh boy,
I'm running a lot of thought processes in my head because there's some jokes I need to crack on certain coaches. No, thank you.
Yeah, no.
We'll just skip it.
No, not even a good smile. Never mind. Okay.
I will tell you this though, Chris Finch is a mood, as the kids say. Where when he's all upset, I'm like, damn, he just got out of the bed and someone was interrupting him. I can get behind that.
All right. Willie Green, New Orleans.
Let's see what Willie looks like, because I remember him as a player, but let's see if I remember him.
All right, he's on the younger side. How old is Willie Green? Let's see. He's 40. 43. He's 40 years old.
Willie's kind of handsome. That's not a good photo of him that says "Welcome, Coach."
Actually, here's him in the suit with the Pelicans. There we go. Yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby. Looks good there.
Yeah, he's good.
Looks really good.
His barber does good with that hairline.
Almost pulled off the upset, but he exposed the sun, so that there's some extra points right there.
Yeah, he gets a point right there. He has a deal. Look, he got some wins without Zion, and he gets my sympathy for having to deal with that.
He's in shape, that's for sure.
Listen, man, we take care of it. I'm gonna let go of my body when I'm 50. I got 17 more years.
All right.
So Will Green's up there. He wins some, beat the Suns a little bit. You're on my horizon.
All right. Let's see. Mark Dano, Oklahoma City.
All right. I don't know what he looks like. So
I mean, neither does Wikipedia because there's not even a photo there. All right, let's go. Mark Dano, there he is.
I feel like watch him be the most handsome man.
He is. He's 36 years old. Dear God. What am I doing with my life?
He's kind of cute, man.
There he is.
That's it in the most great way possible. So Mark Dano,
I don't know. He's got to do something with that hair.
Listen, Mark Dano is what the ladies and gentlemen call a safe bet.
I guess so.
He's a safe bet. He also kind of looks like yes, Freddie, we're on. He looks like Charles from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Joe Latruglio. So to a degree,
I guess
a little goofy. That brown suit though is not there. So Mark Dano, you're the safe bet.
All right. Okay.
You're not the desperate bet. But
he's got to do something with that hair. I mean, that is a horrible haircut. I do not like.
It's because the hairline. That's a Caesar.
Freddie, I guess you haven't been on in a bit, but we've been doing a Final Four-ish tournament where we're ranking the handsomest head coaches and managers in the 4 major North American pro sports. And so we've already gone through the handsomest MLB managers, handsomest NFL head coaches, and
Sean
now we're
McVay and
Gabe
Kapler.
So Gabe Kapler and Sean McVay have made it to the Final Four. So now we're doing the NBA. We're doing the Western Conference today. We'll see which one moves Charles's loins a little bit, and then we'll move on to the Eastern Conference next episode, and then we'll move on to the NHL, and then we'll crown a champion of Best Bay in current pro sports. So there you go.
MLB, NBA.
Yeah.
we got this.
Yeah, BHL, Yeah, here we go. Next, we've got, let's see, where were we? So we're Oklahoma. Monty Williams.
No.
Yeah. Monty Williams, here we go.
Not even because he's on Phoenix. I just know.
No.
I already gave Darvin Ham the fit, so it's like, no.
Alrighty. Yeah, okay. No, that's a no for you for Monty Williams. Next is...
I like Monty, too.
Yeah.
All shitting aside that I do on Phoenix, I
Yeah.
actually do like Monty. I've never taken swipes at Monty Wood.
Yeah, I think he's
been
earned his way up here. So
Yeah.
he wasn't just handed to him. You know what I mean? So
Right.
next, Chauncey
Oh
in Portland. Chauncey Billups.
no, I didn't even like Chauncey when he was broadcasting. So
Yeah.
this helps me out between.
Yeah.
I don't say I don't want to say Chauncey's fugly, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna say no.
All
just
right.
gonna say no.
Okay. Next, Mike
How
Brown.
did he get the Portland job? That's all I want to know.
Nobody knows. Sheesh, it was just like a random choice. Next, Mike Brown.
Nah, Mike Brown has looked the same for 15 years.
And yeah,
good on
his
him.
Consistency, right?
But no, I've already, the Darvin Ham is the one I've made the exception for.
All right.
But good for Mike Brown for like exfoliating and not aging at all.
Yeah. No, he hasn't aged a bit.
He is a stylish dresser though.
Next. Ooh, here we go. Pop
Pop got handsome with the fucking beard.
Greg Popovich.
I'm just saying, remember we put that clout. This is
He got that Ian McLennan type of look.
Yeah, when he was clean shaven, fugly, hell nah. But then he grew the beard.
Yeah,
and
and the hair in some cases too.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm gonna call your grandma later.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
Well, there he is. Look at him yelling right there.
And he had to do a Kawhi Leonard, so he has my sympathy for that.
Yeah. All right. So, that's young Greg Popovich. I've never seen a photo of that.
He's never. there was no beard, and then there was beard.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then let's see. Utah has an empty spot right now.
In memoriam of Quinn Snyder and his I was doing dabs of coke in the bathroom kind of thing, because that man made me feel anxious every time the camera went to him.
Ooh.
Boy, he put them in such a bad position.
Yeah.
Like quitting literally a week ago.
Got them psycho eyes right there.
It's scary. If I had him versus Steve Kerr on the who do you think is going to kill you on a date, it would
Jonathan Crane from Batman Begins.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I don't forget what the actor's name is, but yeah.
Oh, Cillian Murphy.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's
got Scarecrow. Man. Scarecrow. All right. And that's the Western Conference, Charles. So who's it going to be?
Oh, you're missing somebody.
I think that's it. Yeah, I just went down the entire list. So that's
the Clippers.
I did.
Tyrone. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I saw all the photos of him in the Cavs.
Yeah.
It's still Jason Kidd.
All right.
Willie Green gets a little bit of consideration as a follow-up, but Jason Kidd was going to go from there.
Okay. Well, that's it. That's the handsomest coaches in the Western Conference for the NBA. So where are we? We're at 38 minutes right now. So, gosh,
anything else about NBA?
Not really. I said, I'm not paying attention to this finals.
Rudy Gobert?
Not even that.
He might be going. Donovan Mitchell?
Yeah, but that's all speculation. We see the photos and all that stuff, and I get it, but I don't want to confirm. I don't want to talk about it right now. Everybody else talking about that. Yeah, everybody's talking about that on Twitter. Whatever discourse that we can do with that, but it doesn't matter. So
I just don't want Kyle Lowry on my team.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
I see if somebody can unload that contract, dear Lord. Okay, I do. We could talk about video games, I guess.
We can do whatever.
Summer Games Fest happened. So
yeah. I think we had Andrew gone for one E3 and we just destroyed it.
Yeah, we went all over the place. So there is no E3 this year, and we usually cover E3 and this type of stuff every year anyways. But Summer Game Fest 2022 happened last week, right? Yeah, so it was last week, yeah. So I just want to look for the list of the games that were reviewed, and Nintendo's not there, obviously. I think Sony...
Nintendo already told me what I need to know that comes out in 2 months, or 3 months. So
there's rumors that there's a Nintendo Direct this month, at the end of this month, maybe, because they usually kind of do a surprise drop of them for like a week beforehand, hey, it's coming. So
and the last two were indies, so we should be good for a actual big build because I'm sure there'll be more Splatoon 3 anyway.
Yeah.
Switch Sports updates and then some other stuff.
They kind of need to announce what they're going to do for the rest of this year. So, like, we're not getting Zelda. So nobody, we're not getting Zelda. We're not getting Metroid.
Which is upsetting because I'll tell you now, playing Age of Calamity, which I'm doing right now in the background, makes me really want to do Breath of the Wild, like hard fucking core.
Yeah, and so there's a bunch of stuff here, but and I think what Sony's didn't do anything, right? Sony's not here either.
Well, I mean, Sony made some announcements.
Yeah. So let's see. So here are the games. Let me go down this list. First, Guile's in Street Fighter. Everybody.
Yeah, the guy who's basically Scorpion, but he's not gonna be around.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. That's like announcing that freaking Mario's in Super Smash Bros. It doesn't make any okay, fine, I get it.
I just need Street Fighter not to make the specials so hard to do. I tried Street Fighter 4 and I thought it was fun, but I can never do more than generic combos, and I felt really stupid for it.
No, don't play Virtual Fighter.
I got Virtual Fighter 5 actually.
Oh, you did?
All right, because it was free. So you know me, I'll try.
Okay, cool. I mean, I love Virtual Fighter. I think it's. I had Virtual Fighter 2 on the Saturn a long time ago, but I mean, just pulling off combos is like I studied it a lot back then when I was I was a kid, right? So I was pulling off some stuff, but I can't do that no more. I just don't have the patience.
Or dexterity.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you guys now. Well, the first thing I'm realizing, not to get like depressive, is just my right hand's going a little bit from all the years of boxing.
Yeah.
And the hand, because I've broken my hand before too, so it's like, all right, it's going to be slightly slower than my left hand. So imagine trying to button mash and do everything. It's like, no.
Yeah. I mean, as far as gaming, like, I feel like my dexterity, I've slowed down. I can tell. Like, so I can't in Super Smash Bros. I'm just not. I can make it to maybe the semifinals of the one-on-one tournament mode, but I find it very hard to get to the final and even win the damn things now.
And then your thumb hurting.
I mean, it's not even hurting. It's just I just don't have the same speed anymore, like from like back in Melee days. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's not there, and I get it. And I like the only game that I have any confidence in is Splatoon. And it's mainly because it's mainly because like I you can do so. I just feel like I can do so much, and I don't need to be fast. I just need to freaking
be smarter than the other.
Yeah, exactly. Get in, do what I need to do. Just focus on the actual thing. Alien Dark Descent. I have yet to play Isolation. I have it, but I've yet to play it.
So here's my thing with Isolation. I don't like horror games for more than 10 hours long.
Yeah,
and that game is extremely limited. I've heard fantastic things about it, and I enjoyed the Alien series enough to contemplate it, but movie franchise games tend to be ass, even if it's original IP, and I don't like giving my money, so I'll probably skip it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been interested in it, but I just haven't gotten around. I mean, there's so many games. I have it. It's there. It's waiting, but I'll just wait around for a bit for it. But I've heard good things, especially after Colonial Marines. But yeah. Next is Callisto Protocol. So,
kind of interested, even though I never played
any
of the Dead Space games.
Yeah, it's a Dead Space because EA's not gonna go back and do it, and so I think I have Dead Space also on PC. Also, I have yet to start it. So, and I've only played emulated the Wii one, which is basically like an arcade
rail shoot.
Right? Yeah, an arcadey type of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, looks interesting.
I got Ramona for a reason, and so that's the thing. It encouraged me to try games that I would have a big interest in. Because horror games is only for October.
I don't know.
Your boy doesn't like being scared.
I don't know who's publishing this, but I kind of I'm a little bit like hesitant with some of these, like, from the creator of this, because X franchise hasn't had an entry in forever. Because like
also
people
don't have the same engine either, so.
I mean, that's true, but like we saw like with Back 4 Blood and Left 4 Dead, like a lot of people were disappointed by Back 4 Blood.
Back 4 Blood's also dropped in price. Listen, $15 is not what I saw at Best Buy. I'm like,
Well, I mean, they got to get people to play it. I'm sure it's got some microtransactions or something, but you know what I mean. I mean, that's kind of the beauty of a game failing, is that they'll lower the price or they'll just give it out for free, and they'll try and bank on you trying to get the stuff. All right, Modern Warfare 2. Part 2.0, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more Call of Duty. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. This one, Flashback.
The sequel, right?
Flashback 2. 30 years after the original came out. I never even. I haven't really looked at this trailer actually.
You can get it for like $2. The first one.
What was it? What was it about? What was this game about?
It's like a platformer.
Is it really?
Something like that.
30 years later.
Like a 30-year-old
okay.
platform is different than like now.
Oh, okay. It's one of the like an old school PC platformer type of thing. Like Prince of Persia or some other stuff. I'm more like Trine too. I played Trine. Yeah, okay, I see. It's got the little space thing. Got a Metal Gear there. So, okay, all right. There's Metal Gears in Death Stranding apparently.
Listen, I now want to play more Death Stranding.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm fully into it. I was just delivering packages. I didn't move the story at all last night.
But that's the problem. I know what Hideo's doing to me.
Yeah.
Because I went 11 hours in. 11 hours in is like, now you sold me. When I fought Big Octopusy thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've really thoroughly enjoyed Death Stranding so far, and you know, like I said, it's kind of relaxing to me, just delivering packages. I can take out the mules now, you know, so that's
instead of just punching him in the face.
Yeah, oh, I run them over with a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a lot fun. It's a lot more fun for me. It's a lot faster too, and then yeah, no,
Andrew said he's coming online soon, so this works.
All right, so
Hey, buddy.
We're talking about Summer Games Fest, Andrew. And,
what is that?
Basically, there's no E3 this year, so it's basically the discount E3.
Okay.
Now. Jeff Keighley was doing it and all that stuff. So we're just going through the games right now. What looks interesting, what's not. Charles crowned a Western Conference representative for the NBA handsomest head coaches.
Okay.
So it's
who was it?
It's
Jason Kidd.
There you go. Yep. So
Who?
Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? The bald-headed guy with the mega collar on his shirt.
Yeah.
And he beat the Phoenix Suns. All right. He won my heart just on that alone.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that meme where I think it was Corked Bats kept photoshopping his collar to become larger and larger and larger?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So,
that was good shit.
what's up, Andrew? Before we keep going, how are you doing? How's it going?
I'm fine. How are you guys?
Andrew's return is brought to you by Saints Row. By the way, everybody. So
that is a game I've heard good things about, but have never played.
it's a fun. It's stupid Grand Theft Auto. Right, it's over the top Grand Theft Auto, which is what I like about it. To be honest, I have two and was it 2 and 4? No, I have 2 and 3. I have 2 and 3. I think. What happened?
Didn't you play when we first started the show?
Maybe, yeah. I think because they re-released it on the Switch. I think it was Saints Row 3. I think. So yeah. I think I haven't played 4, and I've never played the original. And the new one's coming up. But it's $60. I'm not gonna spend money on it right now. But
we don't do that here.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's gonna be littered with microtransactions. So I'm not gonna, because they're all the customization options, and I'm not for that if that's gonna happen. Because the whole thing about that game was like just making your character look as silly as possible. I love that. You can always change them up. It was fun. I like the Saints Row series, but hopefully the new one doesn't have that. But I highly doubt it. So I'm sure they'll have something. If it's just DLC with like missions and stuff, then maybe. But I need a price drop before I'm not buying it full price, especially PC game. I keep getting PC games for free, so why am I gonna buy stuff? Okay, so that was Flashback. Next is Witchfire, a roguelite shooter. So, let's see. What is this about?
Same thing that roguelites are about. Fake stories with just exploring dungeons.
Yeah.
If you love Zelda and you want more combat.
Are these like procedurally generated things and all that stuff? Like, cause I
mostly are?
Yeah, I can't. But
Whereas Returnal was different because it was a mixture of a bullet hell and it was just beautiful, and we love Returnal. It's Charles's current game of the year, subject to change on a certain game that's going to be coming out allegedly in November, or possibly a game in September. We will see if that how that plays out.
I mean, it looks interesting. It's like a medieval future, like just a mixture of things, medieval stuff, medieval setting, and fantasy setting with guns. That's at least semi-unique, I guess. But yeah. Okay. Next, Fort Solis. Another Dead Space-esque thriller. Really? 2 of them? From the guy starring Troy Baker and Roger Clark, Arthur Morgan from Redemption 2. Okay, so we've got 2 Dead Space homages, which is okay. I don't know if there's I forgot. No, that's a different game where these 2 guys were working on a project and they split up and made 2 very similar games. Let's see. Routine for PC and Xbox. It was announced a decade ago and now it's finally being shown. So is more space games? More Dead Space? Really? Is everybody just copying Aliens and Dead Space right now? That seems to be the theme right now.
It is the final frontier.
Yeah. I mean, I know Dead Space came out like what? Like a decade
2007?
ago? Yeah, and I guess the last one came out a decade ago, so probably a bunch of guys just wanting to remake Dead Space. That's what it looks like. Okay. Outriders expansion. World Slayer. Okay.
And Outriders like $20, and I look at it, I'm like, maybe, because that means Black Friday will be $10. It just seems like a play it during the show kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Okay. Those freaking ads are getting in the way. Let's see. Fall Guys is going to be free to play now, so I can finally actually play. I think it's on the Switch. I know it's, but you have to pay for it. But I'm not, now that it's going to be free to play. I don't mind. So, and these games are there's a decrease in their player base, so they got to do this stuff now. So it makes a lot of sense. And then you can play it on whatever. So I'll finally be able to play it. But Outriders, let's see. I don't care about the CG whatever trailer. It's just a trailer. It doesn't really matter, does it? So maybe some gameplay there, but all right. Next, let's see. Stormgate. I've been seeing a lot of stuff for this. It's another free to play real-time strategy game. So let's see. Post-apocalyptic adventure strategy game from Demagogue Highwater. I don't know what that is. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that was just like, okay, but indie games, right? And I'm not really seeing much from Goat Simulator 3, which
I have like 2 and I never played.
No, Goat Simulator 2 doesn't exist.
Or 1, or where the hell it is, the one that came out. They did a lot of DLC for it.
Yeah, no, I played Goat Simulator 1. It's dumb, it's stupid, and you just go and you just have some dumb fun. But it's very was it late 2010s, 2016 type of game, so I'm sure they've added slightly more polish because I mean anything's much better than what was released, but okay. But it was just like a CGI trailer here, so it doesn't really show me anything. Let's see. Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Okay, so
what did you think about this?
I need to see real gameplay.
Yeah, it was just a CGI trailer.
Yeah, the one thing I'm enjoying about what Marvel does that DC isn't doing is they're just saying, F it, we just want to make whatever money, let's make all these games and see what sticks. Because you like that. You like that, because not every time...
Yeah,
they comic game.
Avengers didn't succeed.
But I can get it for like $8, so I'm like, maybe. Yeah. But that's a different story. But Midnight Suns, if you played, what's the name of it? Of course, now my XCOM is by the people who made it.
Oh,
so
okay.
It might be of intrigue or not. I'm slowly getting back into those kind of games, not XCOM, but like, would you consider an RTS? Yeah, right. Just or turn-based.
Yeah,
part of it
games.
Because of. Part of me doing like Persona 5, even though I'm not 20 hours in, I had to take a break because Death Stranding. We're joining on that, but $20, man, I'll try anything. That's how it is. I know it doesn't sound the best confidence for video games, but that between everything becoming streaming services and free games coming in, I'm intrigued. They got a Yuri, whatever his name is, voicing Spider-Man again. He voiced Spider-Man, the Marvel Spider-Man games over the PlayStation 4. So more than fine for Charles. I'll try it out. Not at full price though.
Yeah. Next is Cuphead's getting another DLC.
Yeah. So
did you play Cuphead? I
no, because I don't want to hate myself. Yet here's the guy who played Returnal. So make it make sense. But I love Returnal.
Yeah, I've been interested in Cuphead, but I haven't gotten around to getting it on the Switch. Because if I was gonna get it, I'd get it on there. I wouldn't get it on PC. And I think it's on Game Pass. I would assume it's on Game Pass. So if anything, I may just renew that and then just play that. But I feel like if it is on Game Pass, I probably won't get around to actually beating it. Game Pass have been doing a lot for the indie games. That's kind of what I've been doing with that.
Indie games or even multiplayers if they have them.
Neon White, PC and Switch. What is this? Super stylized PC game with an animated thing. Okay, it's a shooter. All right, it's an interesting little shooter there. All right, I don't mind that. Midnight Express. Let's see. Looks like a Cyberpunk Hotline Miami. Interesting. All right. Warframe. Warframe. Genshin Impact. More free to play stuff. Zenless Zone Hero. All right. And the most important game, Charles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh my God! So it's Friday, and I'm super excited. You want I'm gonna say it right now. You want your AAA.
Is this a crossplay game? Is it crossplay?
I don't know.
What are you getting it on? Are you getting it on Switch?
I
PC
think it's
or
gonna
PS4
be Switch.
or PS5. Sorry.
Well, I think it would be Switch. However, it depends, right? Because I think my natural instinct would be Switch, but my concern is
they had a Casey Jones, so.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. My concern is that they do crossplay. How good is the crossplay? Because Sony is actually better at that kind of stuff than Nintendo. But regardless, I'm super excited. You want your high frame rates to look good on OLEDs. You want your high-end graphics that look so lifelike. Not me. I want that 2D fun. No, they got Wu-Tang doing the damn soundtrack, man. They got Raekwon, and I forget who the other one they have going in there because I didn't read up. One of my friends was like, they got Wu on here. I'm like, not all Wu. They're like, yeah, but they got a certain amount of people that are doing some vinyl coverings. I'm like, this is the greatest day of my life. They got Casey Jones in. It's just looking like so much fun. They got the original voice actors. Are they gonna make me pay $25 for 2D? Because that I just hate that the most. Any kind of 2D game or that's an indie game, I'll never really go more than 10.
Really? That's your rule?
And we love. Because why should I pay you that much money? And granted,
look at the pixel work on this thing, dude.
I'm not crapping on their pixel work. I'm not.
Yeah, look at the animation. This is great.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
And I'll replay the crap out of it.
Emu's helping develop this. They did a lot of the SNK stuff, the ports and stuff for SNK. So they know their stuff. Believe me. I played a bunch of stuff for them.
It's one of those things where it's like, so the Shredder's Revenge vinyl is, all right, come on, computer, load up because I'm so excited about this. It hurts, going from there. And I don't have vinyl, so it doesn't apply to me, but I just think it's cool because your boy loves the Wu-Tang. Going from there, it's Raekwon and Ghostface Killer, so that works into it. So I'm like, okay, I want to know, are they actually going to be rapping in it, or they just make their own separate thing? Because if I go in the middle of the game, I'm about to fight Bebop and Rocksteady, I hear Ghostface Killer. I'm like, oh shit! I'm just gonna throw shit down, fight something, take a moment. Because I was waiting for Casey Jones. He's not my favorite by far, but if you add it in April and you got a Splinter, you need Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got him. I'm like, what? This game's gonna be $25, and I kind of want to entertain getting the physical edition. Just so I can have the old VCR or the VHS.
It's 60, but no, wait, they have
the vinyl 60. The physical
one,
thing is.
I'm talking about the one that comes with the frickin' Pizza Hut pan pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I don't want to pay $35 for pizza that I don't eat. But damn it, if we're going all in at 33,
You said you wanted to be
33,
6 years old again, so you know.
yeah, that's the whole thing. I gotta
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah.
Oh no, Orgrosa died because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
But I was just sitting there. I'm like, oh man. So I'm ready for that, man.
Yeah.
I'm super ready for it. I'm excited for it. I'll pay it. It's coming out Friday. I didn't even know because I was waiting. Because I remember like when it came out, I sent it to you guys. Like, what the fuck is this? And then they didn't release the announce date or anything like that. And then all of a sudden at this little convention, that's what I'm gonna call it, at this little expo, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
June 16th. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Everybody's creaming over Last of Us remake number 5,000, even though it does
Dear
look
Lord.
good.
Yeah, I know.
And then there's me, who's like, oh, what?
Is Shadow of the Colossus coming out again? You know?
Listen, we don't talk ish about Shadow of the Colossus.
All right,
That
you
was
are.
almost
I'm
game
just
of
gonna
the year
PS5,
last year.
Yeah, PS5 version.
I would
get that ray
I-
tracing.
Yeah, I would contemplate.
I would assume
but
they
also-
would try. You know, why not? Humankind, just a freaking strategy game, I think. So okay.
I got so excited. This is the first time I died playing Age of Calamity. I wasn't keeping part of my thing because I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Let's see. One Piece Odyssey.
I can't get into those games I want to,
Yeah.
even though I know nothing about Odyssey except for Luffy ate a apple and lost his stuff. I know all my anime waves are gonna beat me up, but it's too long. It's too long. Too many episodes. I'm just one man. I can't even binge like 3 episodes anymore of just typical anime. I'm so behind on everything.
Yeah, no, I've been watching Comey Can't Communicate because I like the slice of life. I love slice of life animes, so that's where I'm at right now. Soul Hackers 2 from Atlas, so another JRPG. So I guess you're playing Persona, right? Or did you start it?
Yeah, it's I'm 20 hours into Persona and then I switched up to do Death Stranding.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna alternate between the two of them in that sense. But I know of Atlas from their other works. They're very good at what they do production wise. So
Yeah.
if I end up falling in love with all of that, then maybe they'll become like my new company.
Okay, next is Metal. Let's see, Metal Hellsinger. So it's rhythm shooter. Interesting. So I guess
Those
it's
kind of games were fun back in the day.
So this is let's see. So I guess it's like Doom, but with like I guess a rhythm theme in a sense, which
So maybe think of how you did Cadence of
yeah,
Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule, or I heard Batman Arkham combat was inspired by Dance Dance Revolution, by the way. So I've seen the interviews. It's like, oh my god, really? It's like, yeah, you got to time it. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Nightingale, BioWare, former BioWare guy developing this. All right, sure.
Fair
Like
to
I
say
said-
BioWare is overrated.
Oh yeah, they had their moment, right? With was it?
And I never
with,
played Mass Effect.
Mass Effect, and then
They also had KOTOR, but
well,
There's
that's
a
kind of
difference
where they
between
made their
games
things
20
and,
years ago.
Yeah, but the mid 2000s, late 2000s, and that was it. After that, then they made a Sonic game, which was terrible. So
were they the ones who made Sonic Knights?
no,
Black
Sonic
Knight?
Knights? No. Theirs was Sonic Chronicles on the DS,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was terrible. Bad music. Bad. It was bad. It was really bad. Don't go out. Don't even emulate it. Honestly, don't even emulate it. I would not recommend that. Saints Row, who was sponsoring this, by the way, so
Yeah, well, yeah, totally gonna buy your game.
I already said that I wasn't. So that was a bad.
That's you.
Yeah,
That's you.
Warhammer 40K. Whatever.
Have we ever like? I don't. Okay. I don't. Want
I
to
have
sound
very
disparaging.
tiny knowledge about the Warhammer series of stuff, and it's way too much.
The people that I know that like Warhammer don't make me ever want to actually try Warhammer.
Yeah.
If that's a fair assessment of how to define my feelings on that.
Yeah. So, yep. Let's see. Layers of Fear, which, let's see, is a Silent Hill homage, I guess. Because Konami's not going to make that anytime soon, and Guillermo del Toro didn't get his game made with Kojima. And he just ends up in Death Stranding for some reason.
I just love the fact that he shows up there because it dawned on me.
Oh!
I've never heard him talk.
There's another
before.
celebrity in the game. I don't know. Did you know? Or should I spoil it for you? Or no? Are you just going to...
You can spoil it this one.
You don't mind?
Yeah, that's fine.
Conan O'Brien's in there.
I I actually remember that.
Conan O'Brien's in the game, so
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, look forward to that. I was like, is that? And then I heard the voice, and I'm like, oh my god! All right, Gotham Knights.
Okay, so listen, I'm gonna pay money, not full money, but money, just so I can play Dick Grayson because I love Dick Grayson. The game itself looks like it has a lifespan of 12 hours. Fine, I might get bored, but I need a little Dick in my life. That can be taken in different context for anybody who's actually living.
I mean, I don't know if you would. It's not.
I'm buying the pop, Francisco. Yeah. We're all in on it.
Is it a? I'm trying to like look at the gameplay.
Not, oh, so you haven't seen the gameplay? So it's not fully like Arkham Knights, but
it's the same developer,
Montreal.
Yeah,
but the whole thing is take place after like Bruce Wayne's supposed death.
Yeah, the Nightfall Protocol, whatever. So
yeah, and they'll have like Court of Owls, but it's its own separate universe. So it's Dick, Barbara, Jason, and Tim gonna go and try to. Oh my God, I died again because I'm so excited about talking about Dick Grayson. We got a problem here. I thought I was about to win. What the hell? So they're just kind of do beat 'em up, and there's like paragliding and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna play it. That's it.
So yeah, co-op multiplayer beat 'em up, and okay, all right. Next is let's see, The Last of Us once again, and that's it.
I replayed it a year ago, so it's like I don't need it. And then 2 got boosted up to work into higher frame rate and 4K rendering, and it was a beautiful game anyway. So, and I think I would replay part 2. Because I was one of those few people who didn't come in just hating on it. The fact that you have a female male character, you neckbeards. I appreciate what it was. It was like an 8 to me. It is not a perfect game, but sometimes there's certain kinds of games that you like that are your kind of messes, and that's how I'll explain Last of Us Part 2, for me at least.
All right, that's it. So that was it. That was Summer Games Fest. So that was interesting. I mean, really, I didn't see much aside from Gotham Knights for me and Ninja Turtles. That kind of okay.
Part of the issue too is a lot of them are going, unless you're a third party publisher, a lot of them are going to have their own thing, a state of play, Nintendo Direct, where Microsoft just did this Bethesda thing. And I don't want to say Bethesda's overrated, but I don't need another Fallout anymore. I've had my fill. I played 4. I put in like 80 hours into it. I'm surprised I passed law school because of how much time I put into that game. But I don't need it anymore, man.
All right. So we're gonna go to a word from our non-sponsors. We're at 1 hour and 8 minutes, and then after that, we'll Andrew, if you're still there, we'll do the preview of the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay.
Because me and Charles already talked basketball and all that stuff, and then
we talked really good stuff about.
I thought
you actually came in the point that we thought we were going to start the show on.
Yeah, we were just we're not really talking about baseball, but. So let's people, places, things, concepts, what have you that we have been enjoying over the last week, and I don't know who wants to start this week. Anybody?
Andrew can start because he hasn't spoken.
Andrew, what do you? Just look around the room.
Goodness, I'm honestly very unprepared for this week.
All right.
I was running errands up in Delray Beach, so I just got back, and I'm like.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Andrew, if you think of something, we'll go on to you or something like that, and we'll put you at the end. All right?
I'll take it.
We'll trail you. All right. So I'm just gonna start Death Stranding.
Damn it!
Well, you don't give them until you actually beat them. So
I know. In about 2 months, we're like, all right.
Well, exactly. So, but I want to do it now because I've been obsessed with this game for like the last week. Look, you guys. When I dreamed about this game.
You're just umbilical cording a little baby too.
I was just making deliveries. That was the dream. It was nothing even significant. Like it wasn't anything. No BTs grabbed me, and I wasn't having any nightmares or anything like that.
God, aren't they terrifying?
Yeah, they are. But you finally get a way to combat them finally a little bit. But it's still kind of nerve-wracking when you get to them. But yeah, Death Stranding. Hideo Kojima, he's just recently he's going to make a game for Microsoft now, so he's working on that. So and it just got an update on PS5, the director's cut.
That's what I got.
Yep. So I don't know what your differences are between my version and yours, Charles, but Yeah.
I mean, I think they do some stuff with extra story,
Okay.
and aside from like performance things of like high end
Yeah.
4K rendering HDR and all that.
So I'm doing the PC version on Epic Games. I got it for free, but it's good. I'm telling you, people criticize this game at the beginning because I guess people just didn't get it, and Kojima was like, "Y'all just don't get it."
How
Yeah,
did you explain to people when you try to talk about it? I'm a
who,
delivery man trying not to die. That's literally how I explain to
yeah,
people.
exactly. I mean, that's you are Amazon package guy. So this is the dystopian future with where Jeff Bezos wins. But humanity dies alongside it. For some unknown reason, I haven't gotten that far into the thing, but mysterious things happen. A ton of people died, and when people die, things explode, and then there's babies that help you sense weird things. There's dead whales and fish everywhere.
Mads Mikkelsen's in it,
Yeah.
so we love him.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro's in it. Conan O'Brien's in it. I can't explain it. Norman Reedus, of course, the main character.
You can poop and pee and use that as biological weapons.
Yeah, that's part of it too, and just traversing mountain ranges and just don't trip on rocks. That's basically.
Why is it always damn raining in the damn game?
Yeah, when it rains, it makes you age or makes your stuff age, and you have to wear all the protective stuff and spray your containers with anti-aging thing. It's weird. We haven't gotten through all of it, but it's a damn good looking game, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, just like the water effects in this game are amazing, by the way.
I mean, I've been telling you guys this is the game that made Ramona worth it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good on my TV as well. All right, it's 4K and all that stuff. And yeah, Andrew, you have a PS4. It should run on your system as well, and it looks good. It's very realistic, hyper realistic. You gotta manage yourself. You gotta manage all your stuff, and you just make sure you make the packages. It's like a futuristic Pony Express. So. Let's see.
Oh my god, I died again. Sorry.
Yeah, Death Stranding. So promo code Philip J. Fry.
Yeah.
All right, I'm a
I would
delivery
agree.
boy. Okay, who's next?
I'll go.
Yeah.
I have something.
All right.
I am gonna go with. I know you guys talk about TVs like all the time, and you have Ramona and other shit. You have a TV on your wall, Francisco, or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit more modest with my TV. And I want to give this baby a shout out.
Aw.
It is I'm looking up what the model number is.
Oh, by the way, what's your computer's model? What model is your computer? Is it a HP? Is it Dell? Is it Lenovo?
HP.
Okay. All right. Well, we were sponsored by Lenovo in this stream, by the way.
Oh, cool.
So yeah.
It is a. You ready?
We're ready. I'm just waiting to type it in.
LN32
Oh my god. What? Okay.
D450
Okay.
G1D.
It's a Samsung.
Yep.
G1D.
XZA. Z is in zebra.
1D.
I feel like
XZ.
we just did like a Wind Talkers thing.
Okay, so I'll try and find it here. Let's see, Samsung LN32D4G. Yeah, these are the models. Okay, so we're gonna go on Samsung's official website. There you go. Let's see. All right, I got it.
So I got this thing, and unlike Charles, I don't have a name for this. It's just my TV.
We'll come to you.
I got this about, let's say, 10 years ago. Mike TV. I got this about 10 years ago as part of promotion at Rooms to Go. I needed a new bed, new mattress, and they had, buy one of our mattresses and get a free TV. I'm like, cool. I get a bed and a
Sure. Why not?
TV. The TV fared better than the mattress. The mattress, I had to get it replaced like a year later because the thing like has no structural support in the center. You guys remember from the Rugrats how the grandpa had this bed?
Yes.
That was my bed. That was my mattress in a nutshell, in essence. I mean, not that bad. That they exaggerated it for effect, but basically there was a huge divot in the middle of the mattress. So I got a replacement, and sure enough, that had the same problem. So, but anyway, this Samsung WXYZ SPCA 74 42069
Nice.
TV, it's not beautiful. It doesn't have all of the bells and whistles that you guys have on your TVs, but it does its job. It's nice little TV, decent size. It's probably like 30 some inches.
It's the Frank Vogel of TVs.
It's
It's a callback.
it serves its purpose for me. I plan on having this thing for a while because, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I feel personally attacked.
Yeah, I am attached to this little thing.
I mean, Charles, you've been talking about getting a new TV for like the last 4 years, so it took you a while to pull the trigger.
I mean, and part of the reason is I don't have enough room in my room for a big ass TV like you guys have. So, maybe it's smaller than I would like, for a gaming TV, and like the aspect ratio is a little bit funky because it cuts off some of the screen. But it's my little baby. It's my Samsung. So shout out to my Samsung, promo code
Mike TV. That's pretty.
Yeah, Mike TV. Promo code Mike TV.
Yeah.
Why not?
There you go.
Alternatively, you could say better than a bed.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That mattress was a piece of shit, man. Like, seriously, I don't care what they do. They could say, buy one of our mattresses and we will resurrect Jesus Christ. Don't buy one of their mattresses.
Okay. Charles.
See, I feel like that doesn't help because he's Jewish, so it's almost putting like one hand in the bush and one hand for destruction of humor. I like it though. It made me laugh.
For what it's worth, I don't think he's the Messiah or anything, but guy was a good dude.
Yeah.
I would love to meet him.
Right.
I honestly would love to meet him and get his take on things because he had a lot of very good ideas. I don't think he's the son of God or anything, but I still respect the man.
Little Larry David skit going on right here. All right.
Whereas I'm stuck saying better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. Well, I'm not going there anyway, so that's all right. So, I mean, I called Kobe a rapist earlier today, Andrew, so we know where we're at certain things. Watch the show, kids. Watch the recap. I'm up. It was tough kind of figuring out what I was going to bring today for my non-sponsors because I think you guys would be proud of me. Like the last 7 days or so, I've not gone and spent my money erroneously in the worst way possible. But there is something that I have been enjoying so often lately, and I have talked to you guys about it before, but I feel like because I'm almost done with the bottle that I should, it's surprisingly it's not alcohol, that I'm almost done with the bottle that I should give the shout out to it. But I feel that any kind of cooking that you have in life, whether it's made by a 6-year-old, made by your sweet abuela, or made by me, can be fixed and cure the disease that is blandness in our food places with a little bit old hot sauce. And some people, they like their tapatio, they like their cristal. But what
Mm.
I love to do whenever I go over there is try like new hot sauces. My family went to, I almost said the Keys, they didn't go to the Keys. They went to St. Augustine a couple
Mhm.
months ago. And what they got was a kind of hot sauce that was, they got me many hot sauces, but they got me one that I was particular trying I started with. And I, my non-sponsor is Pepper Palace's Peach Serrano hot sauce. And it is a hot sauce that is a mixture of peach
Ooh.
and like other kind of whatever, not
Ooh,
jalapeno,
we are-
but a different kind of spice. that
Oh,
comes into it.
I've been to the Dolphin Mall location.
Yeah, and so it'll play with you a little because
oh my God, I love
it's
this place.
very sweet to begin with.
Buy
and then-
5 and get the 6th one free, guys.
And we love stuff like that
Yeah.
because my father and I, we've been playing around with it. And this has gone well on Jimmy
Mm.
Dean breakfast sausages, sandwiches.
Is this
has
some,
gone-
what level of heat is this, Charles? Mild, medium, hot, X
So
hot?
here's the thing. You got to shake it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The first couple tries, I didn't shake it up that much.
Yeah, you got to get
So-
it out.
When I got to halfway through the bottle,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then you really feel that heat to where it comes to a nice little sting. It's a solid 4 or 5. So it's more Andrew based because the peach flavor is very
So would you say medium
overcoming.
or would you say hot?
light medium.
Light medium.
Light medium.
all right.
Because it's a difference of people. But I
That's
thoroughly
so
enjoy it, and it's one of the few that because I've talked to you guys about some of my hot sauce endeavors, but it might be one of those few where I actually might keep it into my rotation.
I'm trying to find the what flavor is this one?
Peach Serrano.
Peach. I'll just put peach and see what I get.
It's like $15 that you get on
peach.
Amazon,
Here we
but
go. Here we go. I see it. $15. Yeah.
it even goes well on like basic things like pork rinds and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Mix that a little bit with like a burger. I'm gonna get Wendy's later because I haven't eaten like crap an entire week. That's a lie. I had chicken the other day because things, but it's very tasty. It's very good. It's got that sweet with a little bit of a kick. Good for chicken wings. And I had a barbecue over the weekend for my nephew's graduation. So my brother-in-law, he's weird. He likes to do just like naked chicken wings sometimes. So anytime there's leftovers, I would have that. Mixes well with everything. So that's my non-sponsor going into it.
Yeah.
Pepper Palace's Peach Serrano hot sauce. Get yourself some. It's really tasty. $15 is not a lot. For quality that you have. I sneeze, so forgive me if you heard that in the background. For quality that you have, and if you're a lover of hot sauce like me, it makes you want to try some of the other stuff. I would definitely recommend it. And there are other hot sauce bottles, but I don't like to have too many because that I think what happens is, or open too many and use too many, because I believe that creates a can of worms, me never finishing everything. So the next one I have, I think it's extra hot and spicy. So I have to really be judicious of what I use it with. But man, even when I'm with some lechon, I was like, holy shit, yeah, let's do this. Because you can have leftovers too. When you go to big cookouts, it's summertime, there's birthdays, there's parties, there's graduation. So if you have big cookouts and you're on day 3 of your plate, but you're broke because we're in an inflation world and you got to eat the same third day pork chops and chicken, get yourself a little bit of the peach wrong. It'd be muy tasty. Promo code peaches and cream.
Yeah.
Charles, Freddie has a question for you.
All right. I haven't had the mango habanero. I think that's actually one of them I have.
I have. It's good. So, yeah.
But it's sweet with a kick that comes after because there are actual peppers in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback onto this. Yeah, I recommend going to. They got so and they have the little things you can with the little spoons, just like at the froyo or the ice cream plates. You can try the different sauces and see what you like. So, and they're all over the place, all over the U.S. and Canada. So they're basically the only reason malls still exist. So, yeah, really good. All right. Okay, so we're on to second half of the show. So Andrew, it's time. It's time.
Yep.
Let's
It is time.
Let's do that hockey, right?
Let's do that hockey. So,
Stanley Cup Finals.
ladies and gentlemen, 2022 Stanley Cup Finals. It is the Tampa Bay Lightning from the Eastern Conference against the Colorado Avalanche from the Western Conference. Very quick. Let's break down how the teams got to where they are. So, starting over in the Eastern Conference, the the 8 teams that made it were the Florida Panthers. Going in order of their seeding.
I know, but
we're going full recap. All right.
We talked earlier this episode about the Heat going out, and now that discouraged me. Now this.
what
so
team?
The Florida Panthers take on the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Florida Panthers, of course, were the President's Trophy winner with the best regular season record. Washington was the lower seeded wild card, and they come out of the Metropolitan Division. You've got Toronto Maple Leafs against the Tampa Bay Lightning. You've got the Carolina Hurricanes, who were the 1 seed in the Metropolitan Division, taking on the second lowest seed, wild card seed, the Boston Bruins. You had the New York Rangers take on Pittsburgh. So Florida made some history, won their first playoff series in 25 years. Or is it 26?
26.
26 years. They honestly got very lucky because they could have gone down 3-1 in the series, but...
God damn, he's coming for the throat right there, the jugular.
Yeah,
But
I already saw your urinating trees thing today, so I've already been primed for it.
One of the Capitals doinked it off of the post, an empty net, doinked it off the post. Good old.
We don't have to go through the whole series again.
Okay, well, anyway, Florida wins that series 4-2. Tampa Bay, of course, the reigning Stanley Cup champions, won in 2020 in the bubble, and they won in 2021.
The only legit bubble team.
Thank you.
Unlike
Toronto took them to the brink. Toronto had them. Toronto was, in my opinion, the toughest team we've faced one of the toughest teams we faced in this run so far. They were the only team that had us in a non-clinching elimination game, i.e. Game 7. We've been in Game 7s, but it was always we were ahead, then the other team took a game to bring it to Game 7. Here, we had to win 2 games in order to win the series. So we survived Toronto. I think good things are coming for Toronto in the future, because if they took us to that, they sure as hell should be able to win a playoff series next season, which of course means that they're not going.
I do want to interrupt real quick. There's a possible coal job happening tonight.
I know. I was just looking at it against the Rays.
Yeah, so it's against the Rays. So that's what I wanted to point out, because
Freddie points out that he ended the fantasy season with more Panthers on my roster than all but one other NHL team. Sad.
Yeah. God. All right.
Carolina and Boston, they took it to 7. Carolina prevails.
Boston was really beat up. You look at the injuries afterwards.
Head coach.
Huh?
They fired their head coach.
That was dumb.
That was extremely dumb.
That Boston team probably overdid everything today, but in this season. But that Boston team was well coached, and I feel like if they were less banged up, they might have won that series against Carolina. So
I agree. And this was essentially the same team that took eventual Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues to 7 games in 2019.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is the same kind of mistake as what the New York Islanders did, firing Barry Trotz. He took them to the Eastern Conference Finals / third round, because in 2021 they didn't have conferences; they just had rounds.
Yeah.
2 years in a row took us to a Game 7 in 2021, and they made it all the way. The only team losing to was us, who eventually won the Stanley Cup. So New York Islanders, Boston Bruins, you guys are freaking idiots. But anyway, then the last Eastern Conference series was the New York Rangers against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, insert Adam Sandler, you blew it meme.
Yeah.
They had a 3-1 lead on the Rangers, lose 3 straight to the Rangers, and there we go. We're moving on. Yeah. Second round, Battle Florida. Tampa.
We don't have to go through this again.
I'll be nice. Tampa Bay wins 4-0.
Vasilevsky is cementing his legacy. Let's just say that.
Vasilevsky is a god among men.
All right.
He's a god among gods.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get a little more into that in the next round. Carolina, New York went back and forth literally because they couldn't win on the other team's ice until the very end. So New York wins 4-3 over Carolina. Now to the conference final. Tampa Bay lost the first 2 games, both in New York, to the Rangers. This one I'm going to go a little more in depth into because I haven't finished discussing this series yet since it's finished.
Mm-hmm. We're at 131, just to let you know.
All right, I'll speed it up.
No, I'm just saying. Because, okay. I mean, like the Western Conference, I didn't really pay too much attention to in the earlier rounds, but then, like, just the breakdown, especially with the Oilers, basically 2 players carrying those guys. But, okay, sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Tampa lost the first 2 games. People were starting to get a bit nervous. The whole rest versus rust, decidedly on the side of rust in this case. Lightning had 9 days off between the end of the second round against Florida and the start of the conference final against New York. Vasilevsky was not playing like Vasilevsky. The players were not blocking shots. They weren't taking many shots. They were sloppy. Thank you, Freddie. It's nice to have you again. He says, it's been a while since I didn't have a standing commitment to do my own show on a Tuesday night. This feels kind of nice.
Freddie, why don't you give us your stuff for the show?
Yeah, well, what's your show?
We help each other out here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Freddie gonna leave us on that read on that 2 a.m. You up?
While he's typing, I'll finish through. But when Tampa returned to Amalie Arena, they just flipped a switch and 3.5 games were pure Tampa Bay Lightning hockey from the past 2 years. Game 3 was pretty close. It came down to a last-second goal by Eric Chernak to steal that one away 3-2. I was helping do a show for Fan Choice Football for a bit. That's done, at least for now, along with the season. You were working for FCF, or you were doing it like along with the season?
Hold on, guys. Sorry, I was doing something real quick. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. What was going on? There's a mosquito in my room. I'm trying to kill it. I stepped away for a second.
Freddie was saying that he was doing a show for Fan Choice Football for a bit.
Oh, okay.
That's one at least for this season.
All right. Okay. Where were we?
Right. So, Eric Chernak. No, was it Chernak? No, sorry. Andre Palat scored a game-winning goal with very little time left in Game 3. That one was pretty evenly matched. But from then on, it was just domination by the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yep.
You felt like co-hosted an hour-long show for a few weeks. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's good resume padding there, man. Who knows? Maybe it'll be for paid gigs at some point if the FCF keeps growing. That would be very nice. And we could say, hey, we knew Freddie back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, between you and Freddie are both leaving us
Yeah.
because you're both high and mighty nowadays.
Jeremy
Francisco's
Jeremy
doing other
Taché was
stuff.
on this show, right?
We're,
Gabby
we're
was on the
like
show.
we're like SNL and the Daily Show.
We're actually funny, unlike an SNL, so
right.
we take risks with our
We
comedy.
grow burgeoning stars.
Yeah.
So,
So,
but yeah, after Game 3, it was just total domination by Tampa. You weren't really sure going into Game 5 because the first 4 games the home team took it, all the wins. But once Tampa won Game 5 in New York, you kind of felt like the series was going to be an inevitable end, and it happened. Vasilevsky did his thing, and I gotta say, Igor Shesterkin is a beast.
This Rangers team's going to be back.
It's going to be back.
They're going
Absolutely.
to be back. Like this, their rebuild has gone on. Like it's gone really well.
It has. And if you have Shesterkin leading the way, who is probably the Vezina Trophy winner this year, if he keeps playing like he did, I mean, when I predicted that this was going to be a goalie battle, I was fucking right. With the exception of those first 2 games where Vasilevsky was pretty rusty, which, by the way, the Rangers fans were chanting Igor's better several times during those first 2 games. But at the end of Game 6, which was in Tampa, the Tampa fans were saying Vasi's better. So I will say, I will give the edge to Vasilevsky here because once he got the rust off, he was doing Vasilevsky things.
Yep.
In the last 8...
Can you say Vasilevsky is now Vasilevsky?
I don't think he ever left. I don't Vasilevsky.
Well, he was gone for like 2 games.
Yeah,
let me have my puns, damn it.
He never Vasilevsky. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
He never Vasilevsky. I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Shesterkin is going to be a beast if he keeps this up. I see a few similarities with Vasilevsky, and they're actually very similar in age. Vasilevsky is 27, Shesterkin is 26. The only reason it feels like Vasilevsky is older is because he's actually been in the league for several years at this point. Shesterkin's a newbie, but he's going to be doing some good things. You got Mika Zibanejad, Kreider. Like they've got a stacked roster. They're going to be back. Going over to the Western Conference, Colorado first round sweeps Nashville. St. Louis wins 4-2 over Minnesota. Calgary takes Dallas took Calgary to 7, but ultimately the Flames prevail.
Yeah. And that was only on the back of their goalie, by the way.
Yes, that's another goalie, Jake Ottinger. Holy shit!
That Stars team should not have gone 7 games.
No, not at all.
He willed them to 7, and he couldn't. And he lost in overtime in that game anyway, so he almost won that series. If only he could score, you know.
Yeah, that's a situation where if they make it to the final. Like I could back in 2003, just a little bit of history lesson, particularly for Charles here.
Jean Sebastian.
Typically, the Conn Smythe trophy for they call it playoff MVP, but in reality, it's the best player from the team that won the Stanley Cup. On a few instances, it's been a player from the losing team that has won. Most recent was 2003 with Jean-Sebastien Giguère, who was the... I will get to that, Freddie. So, I will get to that.
5 players have been awarded the Conn Smythe despite losing in the Stanley Cup final.
So J.S. Giguère was the goalie for the losing Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. So if Ottinger had made it to the final, I could have seen him being the Conn Smythe winner either way, because that means he would have had to get through. It means would have gotten through Calgary, Edmonton, and Colorado. So, like, if they somehow made it to the Stanley Cup, it's purely on the back of Jake Ottinger.
Yep.
If Ottinger can stay hot and the Stars give him a little bit of support,
The
I can see them coming back.
The Stars are at like in a weird point in their history where, I mean, they still got some guys, some lingering guys, but like that 2020 run was probably like their peak.
Yeah.
And unless they do like I don't know, just like I don't know what surprise run that they can do. I mean, this season that could have happened, if they had just made it past the first round. But it's they got some questions that they need to figure out as far as the makeup.
One
of their
question
team,
they don't have is their goalie.
Oh no, they finally have a goalie. They finally
have their
moved
goalie.
on. Ben Bishop is done. That type of stuff like that. They have a new guy. So
So then Edmonton, LA. Edmonton wins 4-3.
the Kings, I will say with the Kings, they are another one of those teams that's up and coming. Like their rebuild has gone really well too. And they are transitioning because Dustin Brown's retiring. So.
Okay, so second round Western Conference. Colorado, the infamous Colorado series. They win 4-2 over St. Louis. Of course, as I have previously mentioned, that's the series where Nazem Kadri was getting all of those death threats and shit.
Yep.
Karma is a bitch, motherfucker.
And then the Battle of Alberta.
Which, and I have to agree with Urinating Tree on this one, very underwhelming. The two battles of Florida and Alberta, respectively, were pretty underwhelming.
Yeah. And they both went to the teams that dominated that series anyway, so.
Right. Then Colorado, Edmonton, that went for. I was somewhat surprised that Colorado was able to sweep Edmonton. Because, don't get me wrong, Colorado is a team on a mission, and the fact that they're in the Stanley Cup final is not a surprise. But Edmonton has Connor McDavid, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl. They're stacked.
Yeah, but they are stacked in only one category.
Right.
Offense, and that's it. They had to slug their way through this playoffs. They had to play 80s hockey in order to be able to win it, and 80s hockey doesn't really work anymore, so...
No. And I will get to Connor McDavid in a minute, Freddie, because I would like to address that, because that was pretty fun.
Well, let's... I have his stats from this postseason up. In 16 games, this is just McDavid, and Draisaitl also put up similar numbers. And a lot of the Oilers put up some really great offensive numbers, but 16 games for McJesus, 10 goals, 23 assists. Like he obviously he had legacy on the brain, and he's on a team that just has no defense and no goaltender. Yeah. Hello.
So going to the finals here, it is the Tampa Bay Lightning going for a historic three-peat. Has not been done since the 1980s New York Islanders. And finally, the Tampa Bay Lightning, who for the past two seasons have been like Rodney Dangerfield saying, I don't get no respect, are finally getting respect, even from the people who were begrudgingly accepting of their last two Stanley Cups. Because this is... in spite of the fact that there is a salary cap now, and in spite of the fact that the salary cap has been flat for the past two seasons thanks to COVID. Julian Breezewa is a fucking genius. He's our GM. He has made trades that seem, what the hell is he thinking? He's traded a ton of draft picks for guys that are like, why? but guys like Barclay Goodrow, Blake Coleman, in the past 2 seasons. Now this season, it's Nick Paul and Brandon Hagel. Those guys are doing things. I mean, Nick Paul single-handedly won Game 7 of the Toronto series because he was the only guy that scored goals.
Yeah.
I don't want to say single-handedly because obviously Vasilevsky only allowed 1 goal, but offensively, he was the only guy that got on the board. So, amazing stuff like that. Colorado, need I say more? You've got Nathan McKinnon, Gabriel Landeskog, Cale Makar, Eric Johnson.
Nazem Kadri. Well, actually, Nazem Kadri's injured.
Maybe. He got injured in the Edmonton series.
Yes, he did.
He's been out since Game 3 of the Edmonton series. Well, let me go with Tampa Bay. They've won the last 2 series without the engine. So the proclaimed engine of the team, Braden Point. He's been out since Game 7 of the Toronto series. So he's been out for probably close to a month at this point. Will he be rusty going back in? I don't know. The chances are very likely that he's going to be back at some point in the finals. There are even people thinking that he might be back for Game 1, which is tomorrow night. Either way, if he's playing at even 70% of Braden Point, he's going to be a huge asset for the Lightning going forward. Which makes their run even more remarkable because he's been the team's best offensive player during the last 2 playoffs. Who knows what? It was just a lower body injury, they keep saying. It was something up with one of his legs. So the fact that Tampa's been able to succeed despite his absence is incredible. And I'm not just saying that as a Lightning fan. All of the prognosticators and the people are like, holy crap, how do they do this without Braden Point?
Can I list off some stats here?
Absolutely.
All right, so the season series between Tampa and Colorado, the Lightning lost both games, but they were by a score of 4-3 and 3-2. So it and was in October and of this season and in February. So we're kind of getting like this is going to be close. This is not going to be these 2 teams have already gone head to head and it's really close. Kucherov in the last 5 games leads the Lightning in points with 8. Makar with 9 for Colorado. Stamkos,
and he's a defenseman, mind you. He's a defenseman, mind you.
Well, I mean, he's a superstar in the making. So, Steven Stamkos with 4 goals, leading the Lightning in the last 5, and JT Compher for the Avs at 5. Makar with 7 assists, Kucherov with 5 in the last 5 games, and then plus minus it's Landeskog with 8 plus, and plus 6 for Kucherov. As far as the goalies, Darcy Kemper has been injured. So Francis, the backup goalie for the Avs, has been going. That might be a huge thing with this series. Is the goaltenders on Colorado's side, which kind of evens the stakes here. But Francis has a 2.86 goals against average and a 906 save percentage. But Vasilevsky is at 2.27 goals against and 928 save percentage. So it's a big difference between the percentage points there. The Avs have a better power play. They're at 31.1% on theirs compared to 22 for the Lightning. But the Lightning's penalty kill, which has been amazing this postseason, is at 82%, while Colorado's at 75. Colorado's got a better face-off percentage at 48, but it's not that big of a difference, 48, 46. The goals for, Colorado's scoring 4.64 goals per game, which leads the entire playoffs this season. They've just been destroying teams. And the Lightning are at 3.06. And then the goals against, the Lightning are giving up 2.4 goals against, which is the second best in all of the postseason. But the Avs are at 2.86. So the Avs are playing well enough defense, but how long can they sustain that? Especially with the backup goalies, their main goalie going into the series. So that's kind of the things that kind of McKinnon's leading their team in points, Landeskog is and he's also leading them in goals and in points in total. Landeskog's the leader in assists, while the Lightning have Kucherov at 23 points. I think he leads all of the postseason. No. I think McDavid had more, and then most goals for the Lightning this postseason has been from Stamkos at 9. So there you go. That's the series right there.
So let me give my final thoughts, because I know we're probably running low on time here.
We're at 150, so
yeah, so about a good time to wrap it up. So this is truly going to be a battle of offense versus defense. This is was like an unbreakable wall versus an immovable object versus whatever the saying is. That's truly what's going on here.
Unstoppable force, immovable object.
Thank you. Tampa has decent offense, but nothing like Colorado. Meanwhile, Colorado's defense is not in the same league as the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I'm not even just going by the goaltenders. The Lightning players block so many shots. It's ridiculous.
You saw Urinating Trees video today? And he akin the Lightning to like the way the Devils had the trap going in the 90s.
Right. They're somehow playing old style hockey in 2022. So it's going to come down to, really, can Tampa get enough shots through Francois or Kemper if he comes back to counter any goals, if any, how many goals that Colorado can score on Vasilevsky. So and I'm trying to take my bias out of it here. I know that everyone thinks that Colorado is going to win the series.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think Tampa is going to win this in 6 games. I think Colorado is going to win at least one of their games at home. I hope I'm not jinxing it, but let's see how accurate I am. I think Tampa will get game 1 because they have, quote unquote, less rest than Colorado. Colorado's been off for 8 days. Tampa's only been off for 4 days. So I think Tampa will get game 1. I think Colorado will break the rust, get game 2 in Colorado. I think Tampa will get games 3 and 4 in Tampa. I think Colorado will get game 5. Wait, no, hold on. Sorry. No. So, yeah. So I have my math right. So Tampa gets game 1, Colorado 2, Tampa 3 and 4, Colorado 5, and Tampa wins it in game 6 at home. Because I think by the time Colorado gets into Tampa, their rust is going to be gone. But Tampa has incredible home ice advantage. They have a very long winning streak at home. So I think the only way Colorado will be able to win games is if they're in Denver. But Tampa will have the advantage of being a little bit fresher, more recently playing. But they have that 9-day break, now coupled with a 4-day break. But it's not so long as to bring them into rust territory like the 8-day break. The 8-day break will be for Colorado.
Don't forget the altitude.
That too, absolutely. So, like I said, I think ultimately Vasilevsky coupled with the blocking shots ability of Tampa is going to be too much for Colorado to overcome. And I'm not saying that Colorado sucks. Quite the contrary. This is a team that can and should be winning a Cup at some point soon.
They've been building for this moment for a long time. They're you guys in basically before 2020.
Right. So And again, my prediction is Tampa in 6. I would not be surprised if this goes to 7. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado wins this thing. I would be surprised if either team wins this in 5 or less, though. This is going to be a very grind-out series at the end of the day. But ultimately, I think Colorado, the goaltenders they've faced have been sieves. They faced Mike Smith. They faced Jonathan Quick. No, not Jonathan Quick. Sorry.
They faced Saros was injured in the Predator series. He didn't even play, so they played their backup. It was basically a cakewalk for them.
So they played Nashville's backup. They played the backup for St. Louis, and then they played fucking Mike Smith, who either makes improbable saves or gives up a shot, I kid you not, from the other blue line.
Yes. And then he was like, what the heck? Like, he was looking at, like, what the heck? That was funny.
Colorado in this playoff has not faced a Vasilevsky-type goaltender.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay has faced a Vasilevsky-type goaltender in Igor Shesterkin. They know what it takes.
Even Bobrovsky gave him a good fight.
Yeah,
because he was the only good thing the Panthers had.
That's a very good point. That series,
and even the Leafs goaltender. So yeah,
that series was ultimately a bit closer than the 4-0 would suggest, because some of those games were very close. I mean, one of the wins was with, I think, 3-point-something seconds on the clock.
Yeah,
that was just because
Kucherov to Colton. Yeah,
because one of your defenders make a boneheaded move and decide to move under the
go
net
after Kucherov, and Kucherov did a backhanded pass to Colton.
That was stupid as hell, but hey, thank you.
Anyways,
but yes, I think Tampa ultimately they faced better competition goaltending wise. I mean, even I forgot his name, the Toronto goaltender. He was pretty good too. They took us to 7 games, so I think ultimately Tampa's experience with better goaltenders is going to serve them well in this series. On top of the fact that Kemper or Francois, whoever it is, has been letting in many more goals than Vasilevsky has, with the exception of those few games where he's been off of his mark. But if Vasilevsky is playing like Vasilevsky, I don't see a good chance of Colorado taking this.
All right. Okay, so that's.
Sorry, I wanted to talk about Connor McDavid really quick.
Yeah.
Because Freddie, that was great. There was video last night of Connor McDavid, who is arguably the best player, hockey player in the league right now, possibly cheating on his girlfriend. He was out and about the other night. Someone took a video of him.
Actually, I want to go into the Andrewverse for this one.
Okay.
This is TMZ reporter Andrew.
He's just sitting in the bushes, paying me like $20 just to slowly move the vehicle. He has got this muscle going on.
So people were taking video of a possibly drunk Connor McDavid.
Oh, he was drunk. He was drunk.
Holding hands with someone who was not his girlfriend out in public. Mm-hmm. Listen, I am not usually one for tabloids and gossip and shit, but I'm doing this for Freddie's benefit, and I figured I'd just bring this up anyway. So everyone is starting to good luck sleeping on your heated driveway, or it's very funny. People are making a lot of fun with getting a lot of fun out of this. It just happened yesterday, so we'll see.
Yeah,
was he acting? Was it just a misunderstanding? I don't know. Personally, I'd like to wait for a little more information to come out, but still funny.
Yeah, and then there was another about Tim Anderson of the White Sox cheating as well. he had like a photo of him with his wife, and then like he had like a side side chick posted a video or a picture of her with like her I guess her baby belly. She's pregnant, so
Oof.
that came out. I think that happened today. So yeah. So this is an interesting thing with TMZ, Andrew. All right. Well, we're at 2 hours, so we got to do this. We got to get to the cage. All right. So let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, your weekly Trueplex The Cage with Charles. Full disclosure, wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It's a stage fight. It's a combat sport. Damn it. It's a physical activity. That's what we're calling it after the Cody Rhodes purple nurple injuries that I showed you. It's a story about men and women chasing championships, trying to establish legacy, beating the holy hell out of each other for my entertainment. It's about some real stuff. About pain and suffering and issues. It's
fighting
also
those demons.
Fighting those demons, but we're not going to be preachy. We're going to treat this like another thing that wrestling is, a business. A business. But before we go into the business and give the business, we're going to talk about some wrestling that happened over the weekend. New Japan! Been a while, right? Indeed. Since we kind of had a small thing about New Japan, but they had Dominion over the weekend. A lot of stuff happened. The reason why we're going to highlight a little bit about what happened in New Japan is because what's happening on June 27th, Forbidden Door. I fucking hate that term so much after having to hear it for a year and a half. It's the Kobe Bryant effect coming into my wrestling. I swear to Christ, can I just close the door or open the door? It's been no longer forbidden. The true forbidden door is like WWE and AEW now. All right, stop saying it. But that's what they're going to call the joint pay-per-view of New Japan, professional wrestling, and AEW going from there. And this pay-per-view kind of mattered, did it not, boys? Because what's happening? The AEW championship is an interim championship. I'm Tony. God, just do stuff. Tony, follow us on Twitter, Charles the True, FJOJR, Dan Frioles. They're going to have the whole little thing. So you had to kind of watch it. I like New Japan. I like the wrestling. I like the fact that they make it more of a fight than anything. It's gotten kind of stale. But now, since we're about, year 2 and change coming to COVID, there's been some restrictions that's eased up. There's some titles. One of the highlights of the match was Hiroki Goto, who maybe one day I'll do a spotlight on, and Taharu. I say like 2 different names. Hiroshi Tanahashi going at it to get a spot in the interim AEW Championship title match that's going to happen later this month at Forbidden Door. Tanahashi won that. We all knew Tanahashi was going to win that. But I like some Hiroki Goto love in my life. A lot of these guys are old, and I didn't realize it. And I'm not poo-pooing on it, but I feel for New Japan in about another 3 years of who your highlights are going to be, your new guys that you're going to push, because Okada's only getting older. Speaking of Okada, there's a lot of title changes. I don't know if I agree with this. My problem I've been having with a lot of things with New Japan, aside from the main championship, the Transformer Championship, I've shown you guys that before, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, all the other titles tend to kind of like flip-flop so much. And there was like 3 title changes that occurred. You had Jeff Cobb and Great O'Connor, the United Empire, beat Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owen, the Bullet Club, for the IWGP Heavyweight Tag titles. They barely had it for a cup of coffee prior, lost it, win it back. You had Carl Anderson beat Tama Tonga for the Never Openweight Championship. Who's Carl Anderson, you say? He was part of the Bullet Club originally, then went to WWE as a Good Brother, then went to Impact with Luke Gallows, who's part of AJ Styles' club. Now, Tama only beat Evil like a month ago, who's part of Bullet Club, for the Never Openweight Championship. So now, we're not getting, successful title defenses at big shows, because the big shows for New Japan are typically Wrestle Kingdom, New Year's Rush, Dominion, and then you have the round robin returns, like G1, New Japan Cup, the Super Junior Heavyweights, which God damn it, I can't say things. Takahashi won. That's how we're gonna say things. I was in court today. I spoke a lot. My mouth is dry. Don't ask me to do things, especially once we hit into New Japan. I try my hardest, damn it. Then we had the IWGP Championship, United States Championship, that was vacated because I guess Juice Robinson's injured, which is a shame because the prior champion Sanada was injured. And so we had Sonata versus Will Ospreay. Now, Will Ospreay won the title from Sonata, and whoever wins is the best. You see, that's what you have to do, AEW. When someone's injured and you know they can't be back in a month, you just vacate the title. Jesus Christ. And then you had Jay White beat Kazuchika Okada for the big Transformer Champ Decepticon title belt. I'm okay with Jay White beating Okada. I'm upset we're not getting Okada Bryan Danielson. I'm more than happy to get Bryan Danielson versus what's his name? Zack Sabre Jr. at Forbidden Door, because that's really what they're building to. The whole premise, I think, of the title change was it was going to be both of the main titles are going to be defended. Of course, you already know that Jon Moxley and Hiroshi Tanahashi are going to go against each other for the AEW Interim World Heavyweight Championship. Jesus Christ, there's too many things to say in there. Too many syllables. I can't do this anymore, guys. I'm quitting. And then it was going to be whoever was the IWGP Heavyweight Championship was going to defend against possibly Adam Cole and Hangman Adam Page. And now Jay White won. So what are we going to have Okada doing? Because Okada has to be there. He's your equivalent of John Cena in New Japan. I don't want Okada versus Adam Cole. This has not been my kind of Adam Cole that I've enjoyed. I'm happy that he's enjoying AEW, but Okada has a very stiff, brutal, hard-hitting style, and Adam Cole is more fluid. I think really Hangman can kind of mesh with Okada, but CM Punk's injured. I don't know who else AEW kind of bring in, unless it's a returning guy, such as a certain Kenny Omega, who I missed desperately. I wasn't too crazy about his title run, but I loved him as a performer, and he kind of helped propel New Japan back to the realm of relevancy because him and Okada had these fantastic matches that just went down, man. Like, ooh, it was so good. They had multiple matches where eventually Kenny was the one who overthrew Okada. If Kenny's coming back for that, it's okay. You know how they make that joke of Jesus died for our sins? Well, Kenny being gone for so long, only to come back to go against Okada, makes Okada losing the title to Jay White worth it all. Do I want to watch Forbidden Door? To a degree. Am I going to pay $50 for it? Absolutely not. Am I going to pirate like a scum that I am? I don't want to get viruses. I don't need my computer to be just like destroyed and have my credit information. Do I wish I had local friends who also like the same weird shit that I do? Absolutely. But that's a little bit of New Japan because there were some major impacts. But the thing I have concerned is that there's too many people in a stable. Like, so many. Like, it makes sense for United Empire to have like 6 dudes and only 2 of them are like the big names, and then Great Khan will get there even though he's a tag champ. I'm not throwing any like slight on him. I'm just saying he still needs some time to kind of build into it. But then you have like Bullet Club who has everybody and their mother. And I'm like, come on, man. G1 Climax is coming soon. I'm already telling you now who my prediction is because they released who the standings are. It better be Kenta. You better strap the rocket on him. You better have him win. And then you better have him get kicked out of Bullet Club. And then he can go against Jay White. Because the other guys, this is the problem. This is much more of the same dudes. And for Forbidden Door, how can you have people who are not from other promotions in your yearly G1 Climax? There's some people who are going to be in there, but it's like Tom Lawler. It's not as if I'm getting Bryan Danielson in G1 Climax. It's not like I'm getting another AEW guys. I'm not getting Darby Allin there. Not that I think Darby would kind of fit that style. And if you ask me what the differences are, WWE is more entertainment, right? That's how I always explain to you guys about moving merch and TV time. AEW is like a healthy mix of ring work and then high flying and spot fest. You know, it's stuff that people go crazy for if you want your 5-star matches. But New Japan can get you the 5-star matches then plus because they treat it like a fight. You're talking about 30-minute matches, going at it, hard hits, hard slaps, exhaustion. Sometimes there's a little bit too much of everybody's kicking out of finishers, but it's finishers that are progressing to lead to a death blow kind of mentality. And we do enjoy New Japan for what it's worth. You can get the New Japan World app for like $10 a month. It's probably worth it. I just don't want to pay anything for anything anymore. You know what I mean? Impact. Talk about it when it comes back to being relevant. Right now it's kind of on the downcline. Ring of Honor. Nothing going on there, right? Tony Khan has those ROH titles going on, and we're going to talk about AEW. Oh, trust me, we're going to talk about AEW. And we're going to talk about that dumb-ass sounding title, Andrew, I promise you, real soon. And there's going to be some other stuff we talk about AEW. But let's go to WWE. We talked about Hell in a Cell, how much I enjoyed it. I don't really care about WWE right now. We're going to have Money in the Bank in like 2 Saturdays from now is what they said. As you know, Money in the Bank is where you get the contract in a ladder match, and then whoever wins can cash in any time. It would be nice if Roman defended the title. Oh, but this just in, he's going to be defending it Friday on SmackDown against Riddle. This is the problem with unifying the main championships. Roman only shows up on SmackDown. He hardly shows up on Raw. I watched a little bit of Raw yesterday, all right? I didn't want to just see Jason Tatum on my TV the whole time last night and then me think about what it could have been if the Heat were there. So I watched a little bit about Raw and, like, am I fully in it to win it? Give me a couple of weeks. They've already started some qualifiers. Seth Rollins had an excellent match with AJ Styles to qualify in as the first entrant. You had Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Lacey Evans have qualified again on the women's side. Am I expecting a returning person? Possibly. Am I disappointed in certain things? Yeah. I wish Tommaso Ciampa was actually given an entrance and just showing up at wrestling dudes because he can go. NXT, we're not even going to talk about NXT. I'm going to tell you why we're not going to talk about NXT because I know what's happening. They did some tapings, and your boy spoiled himself on it. Not in a bad way. It's all to lead up to the Great American Bash. That's going to happen on June 5th. But, man, if I had a spoiler book about how my life is going to come out, I would read that stuff in a heartbeat. You can't put spoilers on the internet. I'm going to want to know because I can still know who wins and watch the match. I know who won between Ricky Steamboat and Ric Flair, and I still watched it. It was damn great. I want to talk about an excellent NWA match going on there. Just for comparisons, you guys should do a shout out. If I ever do mini stuff, I should always be like, this is the best match I've seen. XYZ, this is why I should watch it for our mini cage or mini wee cage.
Yeah, you got the podcast, a separate version.
I just gotta find that energy. I tell you, I don't know how you do it. If you gave, I listened to yours. If you gave me 28 minutes to talk about Dwight Howard,
I'm just waiting for traffic to die down. So I'm like, okay, half an hour.
Dwight Howard would have to pay me to talk about him and his career for 28 minutes because I put them up 5 minutes. I'm like, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. People just hate him because he's white. Plain and simple. On the totality of thing. AEW. How do I want to highlight this? Because we already talked about Forbidden Door. I'm just gonna hit the two parts because we already know the interim championship's gone. There's some beef going on in the women's realm that Thunder Rosa was sandbagging for Marina Shafir. Sandbagging meaning like being deadweight on the moves, which is like the worst thing you could do. We'll save the tag title thing for later. I'm just going through every little bit. TNT title's useless because Scorpio Sky's hurt, unfortunately. All Atlantic Championship, or is it All Atlantic Coastal Championship? Like these names. So AEW is introducing another championship.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm like so frustrated because I had a Florida education growing up here. I drank a lot in law school, Polk County.
Wait, we didn't trash Polk County in this episode. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's where it goes. I have brain cells that probably left me from drinking the good stuff, and I had to take a moment as I looked at that championship, and I think the belt actually looks fine, but if you're calling yourself the All Atlantic Championship, right?
Can we just call it Can we just call it the NATO Championship?
Yeah, but why is Japan on there?
Oh yeah.
So that's what I put into it because
I see. It's the last flag. It's Mexico, the UK. I don't know what that one is.
I think Australia somewhere in there.
No.
Hold on, let me.
I can't see
yeah.
Hold on.
I have it on the screen, on Charles's screen here, but it's but Andrew, you can find a All Atlantic Championship belt. It's the USA, Canada, the UK. I think that's Mexico. Definitely Japan. I don't know. Is that one China? Because that
I'm
add something with
I'm the resident vexillologist here, guys. Shut up. So from left to right, it's Mexico, China, Great Britain, United States, Canada, Japan.
Why?
So why you can't have
China
it? And
Japan?
the reason why is because you're going to get Japan in there, man. Well, they have a working relationship with SEMA's company. I forgot the name of it. SEMA's Rest or CIMA. And then you have Japan, obviously, because New Japan, everything that they're doing. But guys, like, first off, it's a stupid name. All Atlantic Championship.
It doesn't even make sense.
doesn't make sense because I'm thinking AAC, and like so there, Andrew and I are going to call it the multi-pass championship, and I think that's actually so much better because they're not going to call it the Intercontinental Championship for obvious reasons because it's a WWE title. They're not going to call it the Television Championship. So I'm going to attack this on two ways. One, the name is stupid. Charles, what would you Transatlantic Championship makes more sense to me.
I have I guess the little bracket that they have here for this
Yeah, they're
thing.
doing a bracket,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of worthy guys there. And here's the problem: but the talent that you have in there, because they're going to have two New Japan people, but the talent, I think Tomohiro Ishii is going to be in there, so I'm happy because I love the Stone Pitbull. But with the talent you have in there, I think it automatically makes this title more important than the TNT Championship because Scorpio Sky's injured. That belt was in like hell between Sammy Guevara and Scorpio Sky, just like trading the title too much in matches that don't matter. Sorry. On top of some other stuff, it's just the TNT title's been like staged, but there's some matches there that get me my rumblies and my tumblies going, boys, because we're talking Miro's in it, we're talking Malachi Black, Pax in it, we're talking some New Japan people. I can get behind this, and if you make it your workhorse title, where the TNT title kind of faded away from doing that, I would be happy. But this goes back to the other issue. There's too many titles for AEW. Oh, no, there's not, Charles. Yes, there is. Because you only have 2 hours on Wednesday, 1 hour on Rampage. AEW Dark and Dark Elevation are YouTube shows that are just staging like tuner matches and dark matches. So now you have the AEW Championship. Technically, you have the AEW Interim World Heavyweight Championship. So I'm counting it, damn it. I'm counting it. You have the TNT Championship. You have the Women's Championship. You have the TBS Championship, which is the other Women's Championship. You have the tag titles. Then you have this, the multi-pass championship or the transatlantic championship, because I'm not going to call it the AAC title anymore. Then you have the Owen Hart titles, I guess, or cup titles. I don't know if it's going to be a title that jumps around or not, but that's what Britt Baker and Adam Cole won. And there's a rumor of a trios title. It's a trios title. It's Think Tag Team with one more person coming on the horizon. And then you have on your show on AEW defended the Ring of Honor championships because Tony Khan
You might as well just
Ring
be
of
trying
Honor.
to break down the whole history of Kingdom Hearts right now.
Pretty much, because you have Ring of Honor Championship Jermaine Gresham. You have the Ring of Honor Pure title, which is held by Yuta Wheeler. Yuta Wheeler. You have the Ring of Honor TV Championship, which is Samoa Joe. We love Samoa Joe. You have the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, which is held by FTR. And you have the Ring of Honor Women's Championship, which is held by Mercedes Martinez. How the F are you telling me you need titles? Unless it goes back to something I brought up many shows ago, Francisco. I don't think Andrew was around. This is when he was on sabbatical to study for the bar. Write me a story for wrestling that doesn't involve a championship. Right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's easier.
Yeah, it's like every telenovela. It needs to end in a wedding.
Yeah. General Hospital, there always has to be somebody who comes back from the dead. Or your American soap operas, and then here, I really think that's it. And people are like, "No, Charles, it can't be that simple." I'm like, "Simple as the simple does."
Yeah.
So segueing it because I know we're pressed for time, but this is big.
Yeah.
So Jeff Hardy got arrested again for DUI.
Oh boy.
And with license suspended and all this stuff. That's how I'm going to start this. Remember when people were giving flack back in December for Vince like releasing him, and Jeff just left in the crowd in WWE, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's on drugs," and then Matt and Jeff are like, "I'm not on drugs. I'm not going to go to rehab. There's nothing wrong with me. I just left because I hate this place." I get that energy. I get that vibe. It's not a good look where it happens again, going from there. And Andrew and I actually had a good debate about last night or the other night, and we made it to comparison about Jimmy Uso, and we know Jimmy's the one who I guess Jeff Hardy, he's the comparable one for Jimmy Uso, being caught with DUIs, fighting cops outside of Applebee's. I will say this. There is nothing humorous about any kind of arrest or drunk driving or anything like that, the cost of what it can do to an individual and then society and the families of victims if you crash, hurt yourself, kill somebody. It is cataclysmic is the phrase I'll use. But there is like a dark humor you have to get from it, where everybody becomes an expert of rehab and addiction and legal components. When you have somebody who's been multiple times arrested for something, and either it's the system hasn't done anything to really restrict it, because if he's had, mind you, if he had do we have his arrest going on there? Yeah, they saw him like swerving, everything like that. You have the system who, I think he was driving with license suspended. So what are we doing there to begin with, right? We just have to revoke the driving privileges completely. Then you have people who are going on talking about, you don't know what it is, you know what that is, stuff like that. And then they have other people who are shaming. It's like, oh, of course he goes from this. Damn, did we forget to be human? Sometimes we gotta get a punch in the face every now and then. Twitter, just saying, we don't do that. You can follow us on Twitter, but I ain't gonna comment to you. But Andrew and I were talking about, is like, how that's different than Jimmy. Is that when it happened to Jimmy still kept his job, right? Roman and his family had some pull. For the Hardys, Jeff has kind of built that name after 20 plus years, and the most thing that they're doing for Jeff is they're suspending him without pay. The guy has money, so I don't know what that means. And there's some people who are calling for his release and being fired, and ask a very big question for any kind of business. But we'll do it for wrestling, because wrestling has its weird thing of doing stuff. If you have something like this that in theory is a victimless crime, does he even deserve a suspension? Does he even deserve a firing? Because Jeff obviously was arrested for something. There was not damage to destruction of property. He blew like what, a 297? Woof, woof, woof. Even when I was at my big party time, I don't think I'd come close to it. But they were scheduled to have a match Wednesday, in a ladder match. The Hardys versus Lucha Bros, or not Lucha Bros, Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles. And now they're taken off. The match is still going on with the other two. But it's kind of concerning, because even on the message boards that I read, people are like, oh, he's been doing this for 20 years. Maybe Jeff just has a problem drinking. Maybe he likes to drink. Maybe he just hates the whole world, and that's his escape. Or maybe he has a problem and he can't control it compulsively. Or maybe it was just wrong place, wrong time. It really brings interesting reflection back into certain stuff when it's like, okay, someone's getting arrested. We don't know like the full particulars. We know what happened. We saw the video. We go from there. And is it thing was, should we have just kept it as it is with the information instead of trying to dig deeper, right? And then there's some feelings that Matt Hardy enables his brother for his success and fame. I'm not going to comment on it. I don't know him. I have my personal opinions about it. Is the fact that Jeff should be in there? No, or should go to rehab or anything like that? I don't know. There's a difference between I got a call for this and should I go to rehab, right? Interesting thought process that stem into my brain, and you see it through the developments. I don't have the answers, but it makes me go and say on the twofold, if he's been suspended without pay, and hear me out here, because I will spend the next 2-3 minutes talking about business, and we'll end the cage. Is it the fact that you suspend without pay that is his egregious punishment that he gets for a high-end level, shouldn't have been driving in the first place, wasn't allowed to drive, all these things that came in? Was it because he can't see me, but quotation marks, paid his dues in the wrestling society so he gets a pass, versus, let's say, it was a young up and coming talent in AEW? I don't want to name specific names particularly, but someone who just been signed, who is a rookie and stuff like that, maybe only 2-3 years in the gig, and he's caught with this. Do you let him go? Do you just suspend him without pay? Do you tell him they got to go to rehab?
I mean, he just signed on, right? It was this year, right? Like in February.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like, oh man, they're
but he paid his dues, 20 plus years. He moves merch, he moves money.
I get it.
Doesn't it kind of feel like the NFL when there's a certain quarterback for the Cleveland Browns who was paid $230 million? It's all connected.
Yeah,
wrestling's not a sport, right? But it's a physical activity, connects to sport. Where there's 26 sexual assault allegations being alleged against him now, and he's gonna get guaranteed money because maybe he brings a ring 2 years from now. Maybe he moves. I mean, listen, he's the most popular quarterback.
They went safe with the suspension and just like, okay, well, get your shit together, and then we'll come back. Right. We just paid money to you. You're that type of thing. You're a brand and all that stuff, and you're gonna be with our brand, so we want to promote that. So I think it's just a safe thing.
And that is something that comes back to, ironically, the MJF pipe bomb. I sent you guys to it, where it was kind of scripted about him saying that you don't treat your homegrown people right, you only care about WWE people. But in real life terms, if it was, and now I'm just going to name names of actual wrestlers who've been with them since they started, if it was a if it was a Jungle Boy Luke Perry, if it was Dante Martin, if it was all these other guys like started up with you, I don't want to say Darby Allin has been in the ring a little bit, but a Darby Allin to itself, more of your AEW homegrown talents that you groomed into it. If it was your QT Marshall, stuff like that, he's got more promise. QT's been around for a bit. He has his own wrestling gym in Georgia. But those are just examples I said, or even the female wrestlers too, Sky Blue, Red Velvet. Some people who are just kind of getting to a groove into it. Jade Cargill, right, who's only been 2 years of it. If it was them, let's say they're not even the big names already. Jade Cargill's a big effing thing. We love her. She's great. Coming into it, she's got the baddie section. She's from Vero Beach, actually. So I feel like I don't know you, but I'll support you on that end because you're like an hour north from me from the home state. But if you got someone out of the blue, wouldn't that frustrate you as well a little bit? Because don't you think that if it was you, you'd be out?
Probably. I mean, it's the way things work, man. Seniority and things like that. It's just nepotism, all kinds of stuff.
Which makes you wonder, because now contracts are coming up. Who's going to jump ship to WWE? Cody did it. I'm not saying John Moxley's going, but and Moxley, remember, he was gone a little bit to go to rehab. But that's not the comparisons I'm making at all. But I'm saying like the big names like Moxley's not going there, but the young up and comers who are being caught into the depths, they're seeing preferential treatments going to WWE guys. Because I'll give you another example: Jake Atlas, who used to wrestle for WWE, and he was released, signed on to AEW. He was arrested for domestic battery. I'm just saying, what's going on? These are interesting things, interesting times. I'm observing. It's unfortunate, but I gotta play devil advocate every now and then. So there you go. That's all I got for you this week on the Cage. Andrew, you got any comments? I know we had a good conversation in between, but I don't know if you want to chime in on any of this.
I don't know. I think you covered it pretty well. Yeah, I've got really nothing to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get 10% off a limited time on Shredder's Revenge if I order it right now for the eShop.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for us today, and I do want to mention one last thing. Congratulations to the Florida Everblades. They won the Kelly Cup.
Hey.
So they 2 days ago. So they're the Kelly Cup champions, and they won on their home ice over in Estero. So yeah. So if,
I wish I could have gone, but motherfucking COVID.
Florida hockey team that I do actually like won the championship today, this week. So yeah, I wanted to go with you, but oh well, whatever. Maybe this is their second Kelly Cup in franchise history, and they are the ECHL affiliate of the Nashville Predators. So okay, so bye everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.
Take care. Buy Shredder's Revenge on any of the platforms coming out Friday.